No hat, please.
He lost again? Yeah, he did, Void.
N95 ninja mask only.
Now let me mess with audio to make sure everybody's at the right levels. Uh-oh. Why is Thirsty off center now? Did you move?
I may have zoomed in my camera a little bit.
Oh, okay, I'll adjust. All right.
Iowa's such a Pepega fraud? What?
What?
My deck is in the clip. Okay, thanks, Maverick.
Oh, I need to mute my freaking phone.
Yeah, Iowa lost the lead.
Let's see. I think everything is good. Just need to check the audio now. Let's see.
Everyone is here? Yep. We're just waiting.
Sorry, I need to make sure everyone's not blown out by people's sound.
Yeah. All good.
Thirsty, can you say something?
Oh,
yes,
I think
I
you're
can.
live. Yeah, I see it. We're going to raid Mount Stream, guys.
Something.
Iowa, can you say something?
I will see you all on the other side.
Hi, hello, saying something. Yo, I'm Iowa the boat.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Iowa that got shot for 15 damage.
Dude,
Just give him one of these.
what a clip.
Oh yeah, the Denjin game.
Ooh, hey, ooh.
The Denjin game.
Engine gang.
I might have to adjust the notifications thing in the future because it just goes right over Thirsty's face.
Oh,
But that's
no.
okay.
Following and unfollowing to hide my face.
Oh.
Oh, no.
So,
Hello, people.
all this setup means
Yeah.
that we didn't get to do the starting soon thing, so we're just kind of we're just gonna kind of jump into it.
This is a practice round.
Yeah, this is a dry run pretty much. So
We actually might get rated by TEPPEN, hopefully. I don't know.
dude, that's
That'd be nice.
that's part of the trick here. I was like, they're not done yet. All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they just are finishing up, and I told them I'm going to the podcast, so
Cool.
they can raid. They don't have to.
Well, I guess we can just kind of get started. And does everybody look as tired as they should be?
Yeah, probably.
Pretty tired.
No.
Iowa should be tired. Chris said he was fucking tired. Thirst looks fine.
Yeah.
You look fine.
It's because I always look tired, so nothing's changed.
Well,
I can't see your camera for some reason, Mallet.
oh jeez. I don't know if
Oh,
there's.
I don't
That's
know
right.
why.
I'd have to restart Discord.
Oh, no.
Next time. I don't want to mess with this again.
It's fine. I don't need to see you.
Yeah, I don't need to see. You can look at the stream and see me delayed.
I could.
So, I guess on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you guys feel about the X-Pack so far?
Who wants to start? All right, I guess I'll start. The expansion pack, how do I feel about it? It's crazy. I've built a 0 tier 1 deck, I feel. I know all of us were hanging out. I enjoyed it. As far as like new decks out there, I saw Denjin was pretty good. A lot of people talking about X, so I'm really excited to see what Thirsty Games has going on, and Kumakami as well. Like X is a big favorite, so really excited to see Thirsty Games and
X is
Kumakami do it. Do it up.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
X looking like?
X is I don't know. I'm still a little weary about charge shot. I know right now everyone's just like, look at the numbers, but right now everyone's just playing a lot of silly things.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is charge shot. I can't see charge shot becoming a problem because if it ever became a problem, it gets countered so hard. Like,
Yes.
It's not like Yawn where it's like I can't build to counter Yawn. You're just you play against it.
Right.
You do your
Mhm.
best. You can definitely counter charge shot X in about 500 ways. Every time Iowa went against a charge shot, it was just so sad to see him not be a single unit on the board for longer than 10 seconds.
Even with those resonate units?
They're all 4, so they're just gonna get bounced.
Oh,
That's the
shit.
thing. It's either you're getting destroyed or bounced.
That's what I was
Yep.
afraid of. Seeing all this purple, I'm seeing a lot of bounces instead of destroys, which is worse for
Yep.
Jill. But if the destroys are still a thing, I mean, what's new with black? Or did you just play
Yeah.
0 the whole time?
I mean,
Yeah, I can speak on black. So with black, I was
Yeah.
looking at how many cards that they actually got. They didn't really get any more destroy. They did get more aggressive building. So like if you're building a dual color deck with like mana boost, that's really good. Like they got a lot of support for that. And then mono black
Yeah.
Nurg did get a new unit. It was like Pyron. It's like a 3 mana, and it's good.
Yeah.
But there's
It's
just not
okay.
enough space. Actually, I could take out tyrants, but there's just not enough space. I'd rather keep the 6 and 8
Anorex.
tyrant.
It's weird.
Right. So like
Anorex
exactly
is
what
better.
Chris D is saying.
Yeah.
So for the most part, mono black Nurg stays the same.
Black's in a weird
Oh,
spot.
but Chris D knows
Overall?
about the Ouroboros. Chris D,
A little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
So
They got a
Uro
lot of
technically
support.
got 2 new cards. One of them people are looking at right now. It's the 2 cost. I forget the name of it. It's an epic action. I drew 2 of them maybe. The way it works is that it brings 1 card from your graveyard to the board, but only if your opponent has a unit in their graveyard. So basically, if there's an open spot on both sides of the board, it'll bring your opponent's unit from the graveyard at random to a slot, and then one of your units from the graveyard in front of it. And I think someone tried to use it against Luke in the stream earlier, just now, and the slots were all full on the opponent's side. So the fact that it couldn't grab an opponent unit to put it on the board meant that they weren't going to revive their own unit. It's very finicky. It's very tricky to use. I think it's going to be good in right situations, but it's very awkward and risky because if there is a full board, you can't do it, and if there's no unit in your opponent's graveyard, you can't do it either. So, people still run rebirths, but that card might see some play as well. And there's like a 5 cost that also revives a unit as well, except it gives it +1/+1. It's like the reverse of rebirth, but it costs 5. So it's not really efficient, in my opinion. I don't know. But other than that, Ouroboros is like exactly the same.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh,
I was just gonna say that that card Obsessive Duel, I have it up on the stream. Well, I guess it's over there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's a little hard to say,
Very weird,
but it's pretty cheap for bringing back like for something for Ouroboros.
It
If
is.
you kill one of their units and you have something strong in yours, it's 2 points to bring those cards to the field.
But let's say they played like Resonate or something, right? And they played V, and they summon Nightmare. Nightmare dies, and then you find Duel. You might bring their Nightmare back, right?
Yikes!
Or does it banish?
I think they
I
get
think it goes to the
banished.
graveyard.
Nightmare gets banished on hit.
Oh, does it
so-
get banished? Good.
Yeah.
So you couldn't do that, but you could bring back like one of their big Resonate units. It's risky.
Is there a way to deal with Nightmare that you don't? I mean, you can't play a card on it, right?
The only real answer to Nightmare is probably Living Death, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Soul's
Living Death
Return.
would clear it.
I don't think you'd want to Souls Return it though, but
blocking.
Yeah, I mean, you have
I
to
just
block,
mean
but if
like
they have stealth,
the proposed method of stealth and Tenkuha.
Oh, that one.
yeah,
Okay.
you'd have to because Cruel Game wouldn't work, right? It's indestructible.
yep.
God.
So yeah, I think your only option is Living Death. I can't really think of anything else that would work there.
Yeah, you could seal it. That's a lot of fun. Don't ever seal Nightmare.
I was gonna
Seal
say
it.
if you're green, you have to seal it. It's like okay, 13-13.
Don't do that.
15,
Yeah, it's
13.
fine.
If
Oh,
that
yeah.
ever
Who would
becomes a
want part of it?
problem, I'm just gonna start running like Raging Dust Cloud just to have 1 shield on me.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be a problem.
No, it's a meme.
Do we see any problems with the meta, or at least things moving forward? What could be a problem?
Oh, that's a really good one. Good topic.
I have an answer for that immediately, which is Zero's AP counts.
You right.
Particularly Rikoha is I think a little overtuned. It's
I agree.
Yeah,
very powerful.
I'm seeing a lot of
it's probably the
Rikoha.
best hero art.
Best hero art
this-
period.
I think so. Like I can
Yeah.
see it for that. It's just the most consistent
Sure.
and it's so super cheap. Like you just get it over and over and over. I like if I had Chris D and Iowa stream on both of my screens at one point and it was just Skittles everywhere. And it was
Skittles.
very dark memories of MVC3 of just Rakoha all over the place.
Oh goodness.
Oh, yeah,
How
for
many
sure.
memories for the second level?
4.
Oh my god,
How
that's
many-
it?
Memory
To
count.
get the
Yep.
7 damage for
How
16.
many memories do you need? I thought it was
They
7,
nerfed
but
Hadoken,
that's...
and then they made it like worse in purple.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
guess the idea is like, well, it's split damage, but purple's so good at I only want 1 unit on the board, so I can kill it now.
Yep, and it's also really fast with the 16 AP, so you're pretty much guaranteed that 7 on one target. So it's pretty much no brainer.
Right.
Yeah, I was watching Chris and Iowa, but I had to stop watching Iowa because he was trying to get X Hunters to work, and it was just non-stop bouncing, and I was just like, this is making me sick right now.
But did it work though?
Sometimes there was that one time that what did they do? Did they ceasefire or something like that to stop it? It was just like, oh, okay.
They negated my X Hunters.
Oh yeah, with the Mavericks memories.
Memories?
that was sad.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's a risk.
how many times have you gotten 15 memories off of that?
Pretty good. A lot.
Mhm.
Before the 4-minute mark?
Before the 4-minute mark? No, it's always 4 minutes.
It's always...
It's always 4
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh man, I don't know. It's scary, but it's also like the amount of delay involved in that was just nauseating. I don't know what I'd do.
Yo,
But
that's how you get number 1.
That's how you win,
Yeah.
dude. And
That's how you win.
did anyone catch my game? Smile, the one that I played on the Play TEPPEN stream? As a
Yeah,
nice
it's a good
segue
one.
into nice tools
Yo.
that Red got.
Oh yeah.
how you
Red's
play
pretty good right
Nash.
now.
Claire's so nice, I played her twice.
Hmm.
You can bring Claire back now and use her again.
Yeah, I had a few of them in hand, so I was like, I'm gonna play one, and they're like, negate, and I was like, no, I'm taking her back into my EX and dealing 5. Such
I can do
Ugh.
this now. Like, this is
so
this is
good.
my thing.
That is nasty. Yeah, that was the first time I saw anybody do that.
It's
Really?
a good card.
Hmm.
I guess
sure.
I guess it wouldn't be too much of a Denjin card. I'm trying to think what could you bring back into your EX that you would want to who you want to save for Denjin.
With like on play effects, that's
Leon,
there's kind of bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a
love
good
on
one.
play.
like
I'd actually
Kalo.
be curious to know if they keep their Denjin buff getting pulled back in. I feel like they wouldn't.
I don't think
Oh.
so. It's like when a revenge unit gets
reset.
returned, it loses that.
You make a really good
Gee,
point
thanks
though.
for the
I didn't
follow.
even think of that.
I just
Oh,
know
that's
it's
something I'll
a
test tonight.
super good out now. Instead of just like you play card, okay, obliterate. How about no?
Yeah.
Your
I've
game
got
doesn't
Andrews
hurt
now.
you anymore.
Pretty good.
I'll leave, but I'm gonna shoot you on my way out.
Seriously though, it's so good, so sassy. I guess before we get into, well, I did want to talk about Zero first. So we talked about it a little bit. Rakoha's busted, but
Yep.
What about Inner Demons?
So Inner Demons, I actually think I think it's better than most here, but it definitely is not. I don't gonna be very top in the meta just for the fact that you run into anyone that's running 7+ units. You're just in a bad spot, and it just tanks against Ouroboros. It feels like for the most part. But I do think there's some gross things, especially buffing a Hell Antinora or an Oro with it, an Ascended Oro.
Mhm.
I concur.
Yeah.
Also, my
scary.
favorite thing is using that just the cards from it as bait. Like it's just a 1 MP bait for anything, especially in this action heavy meta. If anyone tries to negate it, it's great. And I'm a big fan of Skullduggery in this meta right now, which is amazing
great.
follow up for
Disgusting.
anything you do with Fade.
I'm a big fan of it too. I beat a lot of res with it.
And it's a fun word to say, so why not?
Yup.
Yeah, there's nothing better than using it against a big Rezo, and then you just feel the fear in them trying to resonate their units, knowing that they see you play one Skullduggery.
Yeah, it's funny because like I would bounce one with Skullduggery, and then later on in the match, they would still just keep playing actions and just keep playing into it. And I'm like, have you not learned? Like I just hit him with the second one, and I'm like, clearly you didn't remember the first time I did this to you, so now you're gonna see it again. Like
Sometimes you just gotta play it, man, and think like there's no way they'll have it.
they're just like,
But then they'll
yeah,
have
they're
it.
just mashing like crazy. Some of these guys are just they're just playing actions to play actions, right? Like everyone wants the high memory count, but they don't even think of like what that's going to bring to them. Like I've seen so many banished cards today because people just want to keep drawing to their pocket when they have a full pocket. Like it's insane.
That's gonna be the next mechanic, something related to the
Yeah,
pocket.
totally.
Make it 3, make it 3, make it 3.
Yeah, just make the pocket bigger. Everyone will be happy.
That's scary
I
though.
don't know.
All the bounces are gonna. I don't know for Jill centric mind right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Ike
terrifying
scores.
from the green perspective as well.
yeah, 'cause bounces
Why?
are more popular now.
I think purple's pretty happy to have all these bounces in the meta.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
good
then,
stuff.
have we seen anything crazy with Tenkuha yet?
It's crazy. I lost to V Nightmare pretty early this morning. It was like my 5th game, and I just got murdered.
There's definitely been some meme stuff, but for the most part, it's a lot more manageable.
Hmm
I think compared to some other things. And then also it being the highest AP cost, it's I don't think it's gonna end up being very good. I definitely think it's his worst hero art.
hmm
Craziest thing I saw was someone playing the exact same Yawn Ascension deck that they could have played yesterday and being in champion top 50 with it. Because clearly they don't want to have fun with the game. And that's very disappointing.
That's I ran into a lot of those last night too. It's just such an interesting mindset because it's like you'll get top 50, but that's not gonna last long. That's gonna give you like a week or two, and then someone's like,
Yeah.
okay, we figured these cards out, and that's
Yeah.
just gonna be gone.
Just the fact that someone would still play the same Yawn deck, not make any changes.
No,
Very,
dude,
very
gotta
disappointing.
win. Still good, right? Still good.
Yep. It's good enough for now. And
Yeah.
Green Nerd as well is the same.
It's interesting because Tenkuha is not really something you would use like dive bomb where the opponent's about to hit you and you buff up your attack. It's something that you would probably do right before an arrow connects to the hero where you get like a hit confirm, just extra 2 damage, extra not 2 damage, but extra 2 attack and combo before they could react to it.
Yeah.
Which I
Mhm.
think Luke won a match like that today, didn't he? Or I might be
I-
thinking of something else.
I don't think he
I
played
don't
Tenkuha.
remember.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I was thinking of that Rezo Hasenko that he just got that last minute hit.
Yeah, he beat Kyle with Flight Chenko.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
It's pretty funny.
It happens to the best of us, and Luke don't play around. He also doesn't let me
He's got a
forget.
couple.
Dude, he does it. He
Yup.
like chastised you like three or four times.
Yeah, but I love
We're
Luke.
all trying to get in this room.
He's awesome.
So Rakoha, probably the best, or not probably the best, is the best.
Is the best, yeah.
Definitively.
Definitively, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yikes.
The best way I can like explain it is that Dark Destruction was really good. Spike Launch has always been good. Shinku Hadoken has still been good, and Rakuha fits in that same line as all 3 of those hero arts. They're
As
just
the cheapest
removal.
one.
And the
they're
cheapest
crazy.
one. Thirsty Games makes
Yeah.
a great point.
It's cheaper than Shadowblade.
Oh, true.
It's
I didn't
crazy.
even think of that.
20%
That's wild.
cheaper
Absolutely
than
crazy.
Spike Launch. That's just nutty.
It's just so much better than Shadowblade. Yeah, after 4 memory, just completely power creeps it.
It's super adaptable too, because if you bounce other units, you can kind of focus the split. You don't have to rely on RNG as much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you don't have to put yourself in a scary position that Nurg does with sacrificing life, which is
Yep.
you don't need to hope for that turn 1 Urizen.
Helpful.
So here's what we do. We just spread the word. I'd rather actually fight Rakoha than deal with Inner Demons, honestly. Because then we can bring the Super Jill back out. We got the Veil. No random target deaths, please. I don't want to deal with that, honestly.
You're gonna
Or
get beat by
like
Magic someday. You just have to accept it.
someday. Listen, that's
It's-
when we
it's
that's
going
when
to
we
happen.
track the card and we deal 5. Oh, so good.
It's going to happen. You can't avoid it. You can only run away for so long.
Dude, I can run away. Well, I'm not purple, so I can't run away forever.
Yeah.
God, that match, that one
Perfect.
match against the Morgan where they had 3 fucking Souls returns. Oh my God, kill me. Anyway,
That was basically every single one of Iowa's matches.
gross. That's why I couldn't watch that. I was like, nope.
Pretty fun.
Anything else about Zero before we move on to just general color statements?
Yeah. So I did want to point out that the really interesting and fun part about Zero right now is that nobody knows like the best way to play him. I think we can all assume Rakoha has the best hero art, and it probably will be. But I've seen like 20 different lists at least for Zero today alone of people just trying different stuff and saying, well, this works. And I mean, like, it might not work tomorrow, but it's working today because people are trying new stuff. And I think that's really cool. I mean, compared to like, we've seen like the same 3 lists over the past month or so. This is a really refreshing change of pace, right? And overall, the best way to play purple right now seems to be either force or res, because that's kind of like what most of the units support anyway. But there's a ton of actions you can use, and I've seen like almost every action in the purple playbook being used in like different Zero decks, and it's pretty cool to see. Like none of them are the same.
Yeah, it
I
seems like they got
concur.
a lot of nice tools. But I've only watched purple. I didn't play any, so I can't speak on it too much.
I mean, I like to think it's nice that it feels like every color got a lot of tools this expansion, but it still feels like purple has the key to that toolbox. So you just gotta get past
They're kind of like
all
a
of their
gatekeeper.
stalling.
Yeah.
So we can start going into like a color by color basis on like what's new, what's interesting. And we can start with red. Is anyone like last chance? Anything about Zero?
Visually, he looks amazing, though. I do want to point that out.
yeah,
All of his
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
It's subtle. I don't know if most people, I haven't heard anyone point it out, but he's the only one that likes to come in with a cool little saber slash at the beginning of the
I
match.
did see that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Everyone else is all boring. They just show up, but he's got a.
They just slide in.
Yep. It's
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
cool.
Are we tired of I'm gonna blow you away yet?
Yeah, I'm sick of it already.
I think it's all right.
It's especially bad whenever there's like a mirror match. You just hear it back to back.
Yeah.
It's a little better than I Am Supreme for some
I
reason.
Am
you
Supreme.
can only do it
Yeah.
twice on one activation.
And damn you.
Oh, damn you.
Damn you.
All right, so looking at all the red cards, I came up with a list of interesting boys, and you can see this on the stream, guys. Well, it's kind of small, but we got this card Blockade Strike. That's kind of interesting.
Ooh.
It's kind of a light ping, but it removes something from the game if it kills it and doesn't trigger any death abilities.
Pretty crazy.
Which I think is pretty interesting because you could use that to take out a 4/1 Tyrant and not, kill your 1 attack units. You could remove an Ouroboros unit from the game.
I didn't think about that.
But I'm trying to think what else has really bad death effects.
So I'm actually curious. Maybe you might know this, Malik, because I haven't had time to test it. Does that stop Revenge by chance, or no?
I have not tested it on Revenge yet. I would like to. I would. I think it does because it says if it's destroyed.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Easy
for
confirm.
sure.
All right, Izzy and Oracle says it does, which
Oh,
is
nice.
Yep.
cool. I'll be
That's what I
running
expected.
5 of those against Iowa's. Racing.
Oh, Briu, that
Goodbye,
Briu's
Sigma.
complimenting the podcast layout. That was thirsty. He came up with this nice little layout here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
really surprised how
cool.
this
Very
has turned out. So the next one is my favorite card ever, Quite possibly. New background. Rescuer's Bullet. Oh my god, this card. I talked about it a little already.
Oh yeah.
2 points to recall something back to the EX. Deal 5 to spread.
Card is nuts.
Oh, this
Yeah,
bails.
very
This
good.
can bail any legendary out of a tough spot, and it has good synergy with Dragoon because you would not take death damage, and you can take the new legendary Leon back and play him again.
Yeah, that's pretty
So-
crazy.
You
I
can
think-
return your already flipped Lucia.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking
Yep.
too. Is you could return her, and then when you play her again, you don't have to put her in danger again. Whoa,
Yep.
what a concept, dude.
Something.
So this card, yeah, it's pretty simple. It is. I noticed that it only works on red units. We have Dreams that only works on green units, and we have Predation that only works on black units. So we each, well, okay, purple doesn't have a way to sack their own. Oh, actually, Words of
They have bounce
Self-Control.
for 4.
They can bounce themselves, yeah.
Yeah, purple has a couple ways to bring their unit back to the pocket now. They got 2 new cards that can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of old ones too, right? I know there's that
Correct.
it has like Birdie and Dulcime on it.
Yeah, it's self-control.
Self-control.
Yeah. So everyone's got some form to sort of dodge trouble. That's nice.
Yeah.
Red was kind of lagging behind there.
Yeah, green got another unit bounce as well that works on any unit. And 8 Gates was using it in his Sigma green deck earlier today.
Oh shit!
I forget what it's called. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So it works a little bit better than Dream since it can work on anything, not just green.
Nice.
Yeah, better part of Valor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh. We got agents memories that we knew would be kind of a problem. People were like selling this card pretty high, saying Denshin is in just because of this one card. Have you guys been? Actually, no. Wait, Iowa got hit with it once, really hard.
Yeah, it hit me for 15.
15
15 damage. Oh, that was awful.
He's
I
pulled-
felt it coming too. I was like, I'm dead. I just know it. And then he did 15. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's interesting because if you want to do something like that, it's like, oh, memory 7. I don't want to get that until late game. But with Denshin, you kind of want that early so you can keep stacking the damage on it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well, this is new.
It
Oh,
took
we
20
have.
points for me.
Wait, 20?
Ouch.
20 points, like the ring points.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It's really hard to do with Denshin right now.
We got, and to make Denshin worse, we got Fateful Bloodfire, which I think is really good for single target damage. It's like an upgraded Mutual Destruction, or I guess an upgraded like Noble Death. 3 mana
Oh,
deals
yeah,
damage
yeah,
to
yeah.
yourself, and then 3 and then 7. Which, damn, with Denshin, you could kill like Diablos in one hit with this crap. You could take down an elephant with that.
Through any shields.
That's good too.
That's all immediately.
Oh yeah, you could. Suddenly more interesting card. The other one was Calamitous Eruption, which is similar effect. You don't deal damage to yourself, but it's like a 2-fold attack that's spread. And I'm digging on that. 3 mana to deal 3 spread, then 4 spread.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That card, I'm still not 100% sure how it works,
Yeah, it's weird.
but it's been hitting me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that I don't know how it stacks
Right.
for damage.
We'll use a couple of them, I think.
Yeah, I should watch some of my replays because I did use it, and I think it deals the 3 damage and then the 4 damage. So it doesn't like if one target dies from that first attack, it only does the 4 damage to the second person. So
It just shows the numbers super quick, so it's hard to like catch what's happening.
yeah,
Because they'll say like 3-4 and that's it.
another
nice
incident
thing
or
for all
scary
these,
dungeon card.
The nice thing with all these 2 hits too is it gets double the bonus from Denshin, right? Like you're gonna
Exactly.
get +2 on that first and a +2 on the second.
Yeah, it's going to be +2 on everything, as long as it's a damage effect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anita's kind of interesting. The resonate 1 damage to a random enemy unit.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's crazy.
Good shield pinger. And then the last one I want to talk about is the Leon Legendary, which I don't know how often have you guys seen this?
I've seen it a few times.
It's like the number of actions similar to FD Ryu, but it spreads that damage, and if an enemy unit dies, then it deals 2 damage to the enemy hero while the card's on the field. So I think that could be very interesting because I think the effect damage is anything that's not like attack lines, correct?
Includes attack lines as well, just excludes spillover, I think.
Wait, it includes
I
just
feel like
attack lines?
I don't think it's like
Really?
normal attack lines, no, because that's not really effect damage.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really confusing, the wording.
it's mainly the excluding spillover that kind of weirds me out. It makes me think.
Yeah, that one's the weird part,
All the
Well, it's
spillover
like
red
any other
has.
effect, yeah.
right? Spillover red.
I think we got one card with
Yeah.
spillover, and it's like yes, maybe yes. But it could be interesting. It might be hard to protect though.
Leon, if he's played with Denjin and he clears a full board of your opponents, it deals like 12 damage for just one
Yeah,
Denjin
it's pretty
trigger.
nice. Yeah, it's
Sounds
pretty crazy.
good. Sounds
I really like the
good.
idea.
I did have someone point out too that it does include if you're killing your own units, right? So if you need a liberating, you slash yourself for some health, you're also going to get that split damage.
Oh, with any unit?
Oh my
That
god,
is
it does say another
disgusting.
unit.
That is nasty.
Hmm.
Yo, that is,
Yeah, I guess that
some
works.
interesting tech, dude. Get in the fucking car. Let's go.
Yo, mutual destruction and noble death.
Suddenly, my suicidal
always
deck
be.
is working.
Yeah.
Just desserts? Just kidding.
So much for Jill
Should
being
we-
all about keeping units alive, right?
Suddenly,
Yeah.
I want to kill them all. And the last crazy red one is Bit. I think Bit's pretty crazy. The Resonate deals 1 damage to
Oh,
enemy
you
hero.
like that?
I do. Like if you played this and played an action, if you Denjin, play this, play an action, even if they seal it, you play another action, you've already gotten 6 damage off before the seal actually happens.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
that's not
expensive.
counting the. Yeah, it is a little bit expensive. I don't know. What do you guys think? Other than Chris.
What card?
Bit.
Bit.
The
Oh, that one.
Rush Resonate 4/7.
It's been easy for me to deal with, but I've been playing Rakuha, so I don't know if I can talk much. I don't even know what it does.
Oh, skull. I don't know what it does. It just evaporates before.
I mean,
It's just burn on res.
Yeah. 1 damage to the enemy hero on Resonate, which with Denjin would be 3 damage per Resonate, so it could get out of hand pretty quickly if you don't disable it.
I feel like Antibodies Jill is going to be probably a big presence for red because of Rikoha, right? Like having the uninteractable shield to just stop you from instantly killing stuff. Because that's the thing. Watching Iowa and Chris, like you see all these Ryus and they just can't get a unit because it's just gonna die. It's either gonna get bounced or it's gonna die. And having that shield that you just can't do anything about, that gives a Jill time to start building up to get these big damages off these resonates and things like that. So
We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely scared of Skullduggery because it's just bounce, dude. Like, oh, they played a card. You want to fall up? You want that free mana? Skullduggery. Okay, well, it's enough of
just
that.
always play first.
Mhm. Go right to the trap.
All right. I think that is it for red. What is new with green?
All right, green. So I didn't do my homework and prepared my list ahead of time, but there are some cards I want to talk about. So I'll go
All
from the
good.
top and bottom if you want to just filter green, so you can kind of bring them up
Gotcha.
on the board. Let's see. So I actually want to talk about Shattered Horn because instead of talking about what cards I think are good, I want to talk about this card that I think is going to be bad because it seems really good at face. I tried using it a lot, and I know a lot of X's are trying to use it. It's basically a 1 cost extra Hakai, but at 4 memory, it changes to a 2 cost emergency strike, which sounds great.
Yeah.
This thing is so wildly inconsistent. It's so scary. Man, like I was doing charge shot. I got a unit to 10 attack, and I was like, yes. And then I just didn't pay attention. Memory flipped. And I was like, oh, he's got 2 HP. Cool. This now did 2 attacks. So I don't think it's gonna be very good. Maybe with Heart Tank, but then you still have a worse Hakai for the most part. Um it's just I think consistency wise it's a little scary to use.
But it's a
Um
second Hake.
it's a second Hake for more mana.
Yep.
Kyle brings up a good point though. It is for any unit instead of a green. I can definitely see it for. So I will say I'm also speaking from mono green perspectives strongly. You probably see this more in like a Nerg most likely, right? Because you can run these, use them. You don't have to worry about only being able to target green units, so it's a little more adaptable there. The other big fancy card I want to talk about is the Better Part of Valor.
Right.
This card is going to be used a lot in, I feel like, in dual color decks, especially aggro decks. It's going to be the 2 costs right up at the top there. The 2 birds fighting. There you go.
Disgusting.
So return a friendly unit to the EX pocket, then gives it +1/+3. So this card's already kind of great for dodging Murderous, dodging any of those cheap destroys, get them buffed and get them back out there, make them a little bit harder to kill with those. And the fact that it works on any unit and not just green, I think it's gonna be a little gross.
You just give him one of these.
The other card.
You got the play TEPPEN host of one person.
Nice.
Oh wow. Good
Yes.
stuff.
Big host, thank you.
Thanks.
Let's see. Doll's Memory is a card I want to talk about as well. I think this card is also going to be used in a lot of dual colored decks. I've already seen it used in a green purple aggressive 0 deck. He just got the that combo Ascension unit. I forget his name, but it's like that skeleton looking dude. And then just threw this on him and just instantly killed me because he didn't really care too much about the sacrificing of that 4 life. But that
Oh,
memory 7 is rough. Yeah, the Doll's Memories gives +4 -4.
So you can
Yeah.
use it to kill an enemy's unit, right?
In theory, it hasn't worked out very well for me. It's either going to get negated or they're going to buff that unit
Right.
enough to the point where it's like I just buff their damage. So
Oh crap.
that shouldn't be
as it
laughing.
stands, I think it's the worst legendary out of all of them so far,
Okay.
personally.
Dude, what if you killed Dragoon with that though? What would happen?
You would take 4 extra damage.
No. I mean,
is-
you kill someone else's Dragoon. You buff his attack by 4 and you kill it.
Yeah, they would
Yo.
take 4 extra damage. So that's kind of nice.
That's
Dragoon down.
disgusting.
That's true.
And it does go through shields. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. So I think the big card, which is the best card, is we need to talk about this X card.
Yes, go on.
Oh boy.
So when this card was shown, I incorrectly read it as +1 HP to other units. This man heals himself, and with Charge Shot, this is the Charge Shot card. This is why everyone's so stoked about Charge Shot.
For sure.
This man is amazing. If you have the secret art card, he looks even sicker as he's doing the Scott Pilgrim grind down the rails animation. It's beautiful. The downside is he is just big target for bounces and Fate of the Unworthy. But at least at 4 cost, he's not a huge investment. I think we're going to see a lot of this card. I think even moving outside of Charge Shot, he's just, I think, a solid card for green overall. Being able to throw him into like a Yawn deck and just healing your other units just from doing actions is, I think, is going to be fun.
I will say with this card, real quick, I did run into a green Ashura player with Akuma that went all in on this one card and just buffed it to like insane heights. Like they were just buffing the hell out of it. And then I finally found my Demonic Intimidation, and then the game was over. Like,
Yep.
He didn't get to play Ashura in time to protect it. And I was like, all right, was that worth it? I don't know. But I feel like in charge shot it'll be a lot better for sure.
It's a little more consistent, but yeah, it's the scary thing. You just don't want to go too ham.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Oh, so the difference is there that that Diablos with the resonate 1 HP is only for himself. Okay.
Yeah, he's only gonna resonate himself. He does have the
Yeah.
victory though too, which kind of makes him a little. He can be good without really necessarily relying on charge shot too. I think I kind of want to play with him in a heart tank deck, possibly a guy. I'm actually looking at a lot of Gaia armor decks right now.
Ooh.
With all these bounces and destroys and everything going on, Gaia armor is looking pretty nice. And I think green has the units to support itself.
Yeah, it's exciting.
The built-in auto heal is really nice though.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, it is
Or I
on
guess
resonate, which
resonate,
is the scary thing, right? Because you do have to
Mhm.
start the action phase, which is why I'm looking at the Gaia armor deck. Charge shot's always going to be this is amazing. Look at how my attack is, but I'd rather have 3 units that stay on board for longer with 3 attack than have 1 unit that's at 20 attack that's just going to get bounced. Killer Bee is the next card I want to talk about, mainly because I want to lead into something that kind of figured out about memories last night. So she's pretty okay at 2/5 for a 5 with anti-air. She, like as Chris pointed out, she's the only one that got anti-air in this expansion.
Yep.
And flight is getting more and more prevalent every time we move forward, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. So having any of these anti-airs is good. 4 memory isn't too bad to get that +1/+1 for each action card in your hand. You just need to have very action heavy to get that bonus. The 7 memory is I found it a little hard to hit to get the heavy pierce and agility. The thing though that I really want to point out in terms of memory in this is memory bonuses such as Cammy's +1/+1 and the heavy pierce and agility. Those are not only on play, and this applies to any character with memory. So if you gold orb her and she dies, she will come back with all of her bonuses. If you unbreakable bond, which is the 5 cost green card, and clone her, she will have all of her bonuses. And those are just something to keep into mind when you're playing these memory cards. I kind of want to mess with Jack Krauser in black with Uros, knowing that every time he gets summoned back, he will destroy something in front if it's 5 MP and will have all his stat bonuses.
Yeah, I'm really glad that works.
does
cool.
the memory count continue to does it track it after it's on the board?
So it won't get it once it's on the board, right? So it's
Oh.
only when it appears. Similar to what's the black card that turns into the green unit that gives health?
Gore Magala.
Yeah,
Or
Magala.
Magala, yeah. So basically, whenever he shows up, you get the health, right? It's similar. Whenever they show up, they'll get the memory bonus, but they won't. It's not like Fate Defying Ryu where you're playing more cards and he's just getting stronger.
Mhm.
I have 2 more cards I really want to talk about. Next one is Fusion.
Mm.
Ooh.
I don't think a lot of people are playing this right now. It's a bit expensive and it's a bit tricky. I don't think it works in a charge shot deck, but I do think we can see this in like a heart tank deck for sure. This I think is a very good tech card against destroys or even a bounce. If they want a bounce and you don't care about keeping that unit in your pocket, you just take all those stats and put it on another unit. This is something I've wanted in green for a very long time. Like you can buff something to crazy amounts, and if someone's trying to take it out with an action, you can take that investment and put it somewhere else.
It's
If you have
interesting.
another unit,
It's disgusting.
it's a very disgusting card.
But it works.
I'm telling you, man, you put Huitzel down, you got Cammy on the feet. I mean, in the imaginary situation, your board's like that, it's like you killed my Huitzel. Fuck you, I'm putting it on this Cammy.
Just throw Felicia out, and someone's like, "I'm going to kill this Felicia." All right, well now here's this 4/10 Felicia.
So I might have missed it, but I had a question about that when I first read the card. Does it take the base stats and add it to another unit, or does it take the current stats?
Their current stats.
Okay.
So you throw that on a Mika that just dropped down, you're at full health 16. That 316 is
Yeah.
going to go to the unit.
That's pretty dope.
Yep.
Very cool.
The last card I'm going to talk about is Sherry Birkin, who is very expensive, but she is another big charge shot card. I don't think you're going to run many of them because of how expensive she is. But she gets auto heal by herself. She has every 5 seconds she's getting that 1 HP. but also once you play her, you're automatically going to get Mercenary by Blood. It's an okay card by itself. He's a 2/5, and but if you have Memory 4, he becomes a 4/5 with Shield, that's on top of the Sherry. So now it's kind of similar to a Bulwark situation. You drop that Bulwark, and you have 2 threats you have to worry about. Um, she's definitely the easier one to kill if you can take her out quickly enough. But if you throw a charge shot on her, she's going to get out of hand with that auto heal. Because my biggest problem with auto heal has always been you're going into a action phase to give this buff to your unit that's probably going to die the second the action phase ends, or get bounced, or it's going to die that exact phase. But she does dodge a lot of the lower cost bounces and destroys. Besides a Blit, I think she's not going to get bounced by the legendary 0 or most of those things. So
That's true.
yeah,
It says places one of that other unit on the field. Does that mean you have to have it in your deck?
no.
Oh, okay.
So it creates it too. That's the other thing. You don't have to fill your deck with that unit. It's not like Nico who gives you aid, but only if you have aid in your
I was gonna
deck.
say that's an important deciding factor for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, so you play 8, but you're getting a free 4 cost unit. That's generally pretty good, especially if you're at Memory 4. So you can kind of bounce it. There are some cards too that lower green MP units cost, which are pretty interesting, but save that for another time.
Dude, all I want to say is Cammy is Dragoon, dude. They're just like, how about a green Dragoon with variable stats?
Yeah.
It's
I
a
was
little
using
harder to get
this-
the full Dragoon
Yeah, I
use
feel
out
like
of
came a
for
bit tougher.
It is. I've been trying out Red Green Jill, and I did want to use Cammy because it's just like, well, I can't use Dragoon. And I realized, hey, oh, you have this in your hand. Oh, I'm really close to the memory count for the heavy priest agility. So you start using actions, and then when you actually get to use her, it's like, oh, where are my actions? Like I used all my actions. Now her stats are low, which is the only detriment I've run into.
Right.
So that's green.
that's green.
All right.
Nice.
Let's talk about this purple action.
Nice. Purple. That's
Now we're talking.
All right. Well, specifically, let's get on to Zero. With Zero, he has 3 different hero arts. He has the first one, which is being able to destroy enemy units or buff your units. I like that one probably the most out of all of them, but I'm going to move on to the second hero art. Second hero art is pure control. It's able to, control the board. We already agreed that's the best one. And then the third one is, being able to give your unit combo and then kill somebody pretty early. So I think the first hero art, the reason why I like that one more is because it's very new player friendly. It's has a variety of both of the other 2 hero arts. Like you can protect your unit, you can make them bigger, make them stronger. You can also control your opponent. So it's kind of like half and half. But continuing on from that, I do think that Zero has potential to be a tier 1 hero. He's kind of like Purple's version of like Nergigante or Ryu. Moving on, I do think that while Zero is good, he doesn't exactly overshadow Dante. Like I think Dante is the better Resonate deck. And then there's Shadowblade. I think Shadowblade is a little bit better than just using Inner Demons. Like Inner Demons is cool, and it can do things that Shadowblade cannot. But I do think that Shadowblade, if you're playing a similar playstyle, it's worth to run Shadowblade. And next up, if we're talking about purple cards, there's a lot that are really good from this set. And let's start with like the legendaries, if you don't mind. So purple got 3 legendaries. There's like Maverick's Memories. This one is a very almost fail-safe action to negate spells.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm. So I can negate spells by sacrificing a unit, or if I hit 10 memory, then I can just negate any action. We confirmed this on the stream this morning, so I thought that was really cool. There's the Hidden Threat 0. That's the 7 MP legendary. And for me, it's really just like another, big purple threat. There's not really much too different about it, but it is strong. It has its own bonuses. If you have it, play it for sure. However, if you have like other big resonate units, you don't necessarily need the 0. And then X Hunters, I think it's a really strong card if your deck is designed to support it. Other than that, it can probably flop a little bit. For more purple cards from my self-proclaimed tier 1 deck, it's probably, I don't know if it's tier 1. It is really early to call it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It works for now.
Right. So Manuela Hidalgo, that's a 3 MP common card, I think. Yeah. And that card can add an action into your EX pocket. I think it's kind of like a replacement to Ada Wong, I feel, because Ada Wong, after she got nerfed, I didn't really feel like I could play her anymore.
Hmm.
But Manuela allows me to play her as a unit because Resonate, they do need that unit sometimes against like the Ryu matchup, so you can divide split damage, but also with how the game is right now with the meta, there's a lot of like RNG factors. Like for example, you have Inner Demons hitting with Maverick. You have, a lot of random kill cards like maybe like Just Desserts. There's even that 6 MP Sigma card action that kills randomly. So just, stifling those plays and increasing your RNG factor, I feel she's really good for purple. And then we got Perry. I don't remember what I said about this card, but I do think I was probably one of the people that was like, this card is like okay. But Perry is actually nuts. There's a lot of cards that are 3 attack or less, and I'm surprised to see that there's not a lot of people that are running buffs, because for some reason I'm able to parry just like every unit, which last season I was like, people are going to be running all buffs, so you won't be able to use parry. So I was wrong. I was
I was a
wrong.
bit disgusted to see how many X charge shots you were bouncing with parry.
Yeah, sorry
Should
about
be
that.
avoiding that.
Pretty crazy.
Right?
Yeah. It
But
works.
other than that, I think that's about it. Yeah, because like a lot of my decks, I'm looking at them, and they just kind of run those cards exclusively for 0.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's purple.
I did want to mention one thing about just going back to the legendaries. I want to mention, in my honest opinion, I think Maverick's Memories is like the best legendary in the game right now because it is just so useful in so many situations. I lost count of like how many times I've been able to negate something, even when I wasn't at max memory. The best example I can think of today was when I had like a 4/4 hunk on the board with a couple shields against the Morrigan. They wanted to brainwash my hunk. My memory count was at 9, so I couldn't negate it straight up with Maverick's Memories, but I still negated it because it kills a unit. So I killed the hunk before they could brainwash it. So that's another way to dodge brainwash, and that's why I'm not a big fan of brainwash right now. There's even more ways to dodge it now with that card. It is really that good.
I gotta stop you there for a second there, Chris. You're telling me you can activate that card in response to brainwash just to destroy a unit?
It destroys any friendly unit on your board. So if it's targeted with brainwash, you can just kill your unit and they have nothing to take.
That is freaking crazy.
Did you not realize that?
Well, I've never had that situation come up, so that
Well, now
that
you
is
know.
crazy.
If
Yeah.
you're short of memory, if you can't negate it all together at 10, then just kill your unit.
Brainwash is dead, dude. Fucking grab, please, dude.
I'm not using it. I'm scared to use it.
Yeah, I'm not using brainwash either, except for my resonate deck. We are using
Yeah,
that one.
it's risky, man.
I'll be bounced
wouldn't do it.
all day as
But-
long as I don't get brainwashed.
But I do want to ask you, Iowa, since you've been playing so much X Hunters. I haven't found the card yet. I've been thinking about crafting it though. Would you
Yeah.
recommend to someone like me to craft X Hunters, or is it not worth it?
If you are building the same deck that I built, then yes, it's 100% worth it. If it's like if your deck style is different than what I'm playing, then I would not
Yeah.
recommend it, because
Um,
legitimately that is my one of the only few win conditions I have in that deck,
That's your win
and it
con
has
just to
to
stall
work.
until you get it. Yeah.
And it has to work. Yeah.
Mm. I'm struggling to get memory 10 right now with my Rakoha deck, but I feel like at memory 4 it's fine because I'm still doing 7 damage, so I haven't really
Yes.
like felt like adding more actions yet. So, but I
Yes.
feel like with Inner Demons, it's probably easier to get to 15, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting that you say that too, because you've you know, in my games today, I've had people ask me like, "Hey, how do you feel about memory 10, memory 15?" And I'm playing my deck that's specifically for memory. I'm like, it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
have different experiences because our
It
decks are
varies.
designed
Yeah,
different. Yeah, it varies.
for sure. I mean, one game I could get the memory 10 in the first like 2 minutes, and then another game I can barely get to like 6 or 7.
Hmm.
I'm just like struggling to stay alive. But
Right.
yeah,
What do you guys think of the mana ramp that purple got? I thought that was really surprising.
Oh,
yeah, we didn't bring that up yet.
yo, yeah. Okay, so that I already calculated on stream. If you pay for your own mana for those MP boost cards, there's two of them. There's one like a basic. There's one that you can pull. You you technically do net a little bit of mana, but it's not much. You're basically breaking even if you pay it out of your own MP pool. But if you use it on response, you're netting about like 2 and 20% of like whatever some mixed match of numbers are. So you can generally get like 2 or to maybe 5 MP back, like net.
Yeah, I think it's a super
And it does
fair way to give a color mana, and it's not too much, and it's like a static amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest complaint is just not getting a good indicator of how long
Mm.
it's running. But I think
Yeah.
that might
Timer.
be possibly intentional. But
They said on the Play TEPPEN stream that there were arrows that appear on your mana bar whenever you have that boost. Or you're talking about like the opponents.
Really?
on the opponent side,
Oh,
but yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's actually funny. Since I played green for so long, I just thought that's how the mana bar looked. Because I'm always but it is
I
a
never noticed.
brighter.
I thought it fills
yellow
up
with
like it does when
arrows.
you have 3 irises in the field.
Interesting.
It does
Ah.
turn a little brighter and has little arrows
Little
on it
things.
when you're mana boosted.
Dude,
Learn something new every day.
So that means you could have
Yeah,
3
that's a new one.
irises and exposed evil eye, dude. Think about it. Even more mana.
Good.
Stack 3 exposed evil eyes. And 3
Wait, do they
irises.
stack?
They do stack.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
they stack.
The effect and the duration?
Well, I mean, if you have one at 35 seconds and you do another one, right? Like the first part of it will end when it ends. Like you'll just have that period of overlap.
They have their own timers.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a lot like auto heal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Which small update, but I love that we can see the hourglasses for multiple effects on a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes. That's
I'm
true.
surprised to see that.
For multiple auto heals, it was just like, you have to get the rhythm down, okay? It's a rhythm game now.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell a lot of the quality of life changes come in from like they were probably play testing. It's like, oh yeah, this is annoying. We should with all these halts going around and all these auto heals.
Just the fact that they show you like a red X for the negate now.
I
to,
like that.
Yeah.
Even though I
actually
don't negate
signify
stuff, I
the
like it.
Yeah, actually good changes.
Clarity is always nice.
Yeah.
about
Actually, I
the-
want to bring something up. Did you guys notice back in last season when you would load out your view card tray, the cards would come in and they would flip?
Yes.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. Did that go away?
It's
Or
should
is it
still
still
be
there?
there.
Is
It
it
might
still
be
there?
faster.
And then they still do that. It's
Oh,
weird. They
okay.
do it the first time you load a deck, but then the second time you load it, they're static.
That's weird.
I did try the new graphic settings. You can lower it to
Yeah.
be more in the performance mode. I didn't really notice anything, but I was also just kind of playing off to the side while watching streams. It's why I lose a lot of my matches, so I didn't notice any difference. But I'll probably pay closer attention to those later.
Yeah, was that in any of
It's
the
just a better
patch notes, or was that like kind of a ninja edition? Like I didn't remember seeing anything about the graphic setting.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it till the stream.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
cool
it's good,
thing.
easier on battery if you're out and about. I forget. Iowa, did you mention the mini brainwash card, the calculated guidance?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, it didn't
Is
come up.
this yay or nay? Is this
For me, it's a nay if we're talking like top tier, but if we're talking about like cutesy, yeah, it's cute.
cutesy, dude? I like your tortoise. It's mine now.
Okay,
This is
that
more
would be a really good
efficient,
play.
so,
That would be a really good play.
Telling you, just waiting for Sigma to get out of hand. Then that
Yup.
can be godly.
doesn't want a Sigma to get stolen. That's why.
Oh
Sigma's bad, man.
yeah, you could totally steal Sigma with this. Ouch.
Revenge
With your
Sigma.
1 unit deck, ouch.
Well, it's like 4 units. It's like 4.
But what if they yoink it
Yeah.
before you can malice it?
Well, I guess I just lost.
Shit, my unit.
Moving on.
Hey, memes come at a price. But
No,
they're
it
worth
would just be like a really
Okay.
hilarious situation. Just saying.
It would be, yeah. Not having a
If it
self-sacrifice,
happened.
and then they try to steal my 2 MP unit, and I'm just like, that was my only Sigma. I'm dead.
Well, yeah. Nice quick games.
I did have someone steal it today on stream. I just don't remember if they used the new card or was it 4 Eyes. But
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, you could 4-eyes that first one before it even dies once.
mhm.
That's a little scary.
4 Eyes was doing a lot of work for me last night.
Oh yeah.
A lot of work.
Nerfed again? Okay, say no more.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Anything else about purple? What else did they get? Oh, V? V's kind of weird.
He's okay.
He's okay.
I do love that Epic V just completely shuts down Legendary V.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's good when it works, but it can be awkward sometimes. I run one of in my deck, and like I'm thinking of taking him out just because I feel like I'd rather play Parry at this point because it's a little bit more consistent and not reliable on, pocket state. But he is pretty easy to set up overall. It just can get awkward at some points.
All
Yeah,
right.
EX pockets are overflowing in this meta.
Oh, they really are.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
it's gonna be kind of dangerous.
Just take some right managing, I think.
It's gonna be tough. I
Market
mean,
management is very important.
I could think even the my recall card could get messed up if somebody put something else in my pocket first. Could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see though. Anything else about purple, or are we moving on to black?
There are some there's a new better budget negate that just came out that I really enjoy, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the 4 MP negate. It has like T-Rex on it, and you can negate any action card that's like 3 MP or less. And if you have memory 7, you can negate a spell that is MP 6 or less.
Unforeseen destruction.
Unforeseen destruction. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking at it.
So that card could be a really good replacement to a lot of negates in like my decks personally. If I'm playing a lot of actions, that is. And
I'll say Revelation's pretty crazy. Just the fact that you can bring any action from your graveyard into your pocket and then use it again. That's definitely not something that you should sleep on because there's just so much potential with that. I was able to bring back like Mavericks from the graveyard.
Yeah, I was looking for
this
this.
card.
Looking for this card. It's some. I
Two
can't
cost.
believe for purple especially because there's a lot of tricky actions.
Yep.
mhm.
I remember last night during one of Chris D's matches, he pulled 2 demonic intimidations, one from his deck and one from the graveyard.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It hurt me just seeing it happen.
With 2 mana.
I hate that card. I hate it more than Fate.
What? How is it worse than Fate?
Because-
Fate, you get pinged 1.
Jill is like, okay, so your 2 hands, that's your pocket. Imagine you're just juggling and you're just constantly
Oh.
trying to. Now you have to juggle more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know what they pull.
It does hurt you more because you have to need your EX pocket not full.
Yeah, so basically, if anything is returned to my pocket, I pretty much have to play it immediately. So you pretty much know what I'm going to play next.
I
I'm
forgot
gonna
about
meme it
that.
up. I'm gonna meme it up, run this
No.
card, run
I,
Fate of the
I,
Unworthy, and then just keep pulling my fates.
I was going to say, I regret giving anyone that information about Jill.
Mm.
Please bounce. Oh, wait, no, don't bounce. Don't bounce.
I think we can touch on one more thing with purple is that there's a lot of new 4 units, like a ridiculous amount of new 4 units.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty picky with my 4's units.
Oh, you mean
think
you
only
don't?
one of
Do you
them
like Trish? Do you like Trish? Send 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard, then give something flight.
No,
I play as a 1x
just for flight.
just to
Yeah.
try. Just to
Yeah,
try.
it's
Just to try.
awkward,
It's
man.
really weird.
It is
seems
weird,
like
yeah.
every color got one of those on
Mhm.
death
Every
send
color
cards.
got
It
Yep,
only
and they're all full cost.
potentially useful for black.
Good old Manuel, dude.
Still, like there's other cards for black that like they had Nikolai for the longest time that just sends a random card in their hand to the graveyard, and people would try that, but it's such a terrible idea. Like you could send like the worst card from your hand or the best card from your hand. You don't know. Like there's just so much RNG, and like I don't know personally. I don't know why they designed any of these 4 costs to send 2 random cards from your deck to the graveyard. You never know what those cards are, right? Like if you play Trish and she sends X Hunters to the graveyard, then why are you still playing the game at that point, right?
Yep.
Like it's just so risky. To me, I don't know why these cards exist. They just
They're
seem so
fun.
useless to me.
They're cute. They're not a good idea,
It's
but they're
interesting,
cute.
but I wouldn't.
Nice gimmick, but GG.
Yeah, it's just weird.
So what is new with black? Other than conspirator speech, I hate it.
Oh man, I want to talk about conspirative speech because when I saw that card,
Yeah.
I was like, "This is the dumbest thing,"
Yeah,
and now I want to build a deck around it completely, and I love it.
yeah, it's pretty nuts. So I'll break down the black cards from the top here. I mean, speech is the very first one. So if we're looking at that, that's a 1 cost, and at first I thought it was just like weird until I realized that it can be used on any unit. So basically, you're giving a death effect to any unit on the board. So at base, it's only going to sacrifice 2 life when it dies to the hero. But at memory 2, which is pretty easy to get to for anyone really, you would give that unit sacrifice 4 life. And I found out that this effect doesn't work with Denjin, so don't think about Black Denjin using this.
Stupid.
In my opinion, this card makes Nerg mirrors hilarious because, like, if Nerg for some reason doesn't have any self damage, which they shouldn't because they have so many ways to do it now, they can get some quick damage this way on one of their own units. But outside of that, they could just kill each other with this card.
Savage.
And I did some experimenting with Batman, shouts to him, earlier today, and he confirmed that this sacrifice life effect on death will trigger before anything else that happens after it, like selfish predation. So if you really hate Nergigante and you're playing something with black, run this card. Because what Nerg players love to do is bring their health down to like 2 and then just slam Malface on the board, hoping it'll heal them back. And then if that plan doesn't work, they predation. If they try to predation a unit, play this, you win the game. It's hilarious.
Oh, this
I
would
also
take
wanna point
the
out-
sacrifice would take place before the predation.
Yep.
Yeah, they won't
Oh
get
my
healed. It's a death
God.
effect first, and then the heal.
I also want to point out that you can stack this on a single unit. I
Oh, yeah.
All 3.
put 2 of these on a centipede that a 0 is running, and then did Fate of the Unworthy, and it pinged him for 9 damage.
Beautiful.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Just slap all 3 of these on Dragoon, dude. 18 face damage, dude. Protect that card, son. You're not gonna get a second chance.
Rest in peace.
I have no idea like what they were thinking with this card. I thought it was gonna be
Oh,
on friendly, but it's just any unit you want now. It's crazy.
Thanks for the follow, Big Menace. We've been up for
Yeah, I like it a lot.
since 8.
I
Since
guess the
about
next
8.
one cost card, Demonic Alter Ego. We can talk about that for a quick minute, because people are starting to play a lot more Revenge now, particularly Sigma, which we'll get to in a minute.
Oh.
It gives a unit the death effect of adding 1 unit with Revenge to the EX pocket, and I believe it was Iowa himself. I confirmed it in his stream. Said that this card does not work. Like if your only Revenge unit was Sigma, for example, you throw this on him and he dies, he won't draw himself on death. It has to be some other Revenge unit that's in the deck at the time. And obviously it can only be when they have Revenge activated. So not just any like base, regular ass zombie or something. Like they have to have Revenge active for this to work. This death effect is very similar to the 4MP Arkham that no one's really using. But I mean, you could use this on anything. And if you are running a Revenge heavy deck, this might be good. But I would only recommend it if you're trying to get like your memory up at the same time, right? Like if you're not running much memory, then you probably don't need to use this. It's an interesting concept, but just keep in mind that it can't pull itself when used on a Revenge unit. The next card was Estranged Parent. I wanted to look at this one because it's kind of interesting. It's the one where Sherry's running away from her father, of course. He's just trying to talk with her, of course, and she doesn't want any
She
of
does
it.
not look as terrified. as
It's
I feel like she
strange.
should.
I just like how it just sounds so like, and it's like, had a little fight.
Get back here, Sherry. Need your vegetables. Anyway, what's interesting is it's another 2-cost destroy card for black, but at the base level, it destroys an enemy with only 1 attack or less. And then at memory 4, it becomes Murder Spikes. Destroys any enemy that with 2 attack or less, but you don't self-sacrifice your health. So I think some people were like, oh, I'm going to run 3 Murder Spikes. I'm going to run 3 of this. I don't know if this card is worth it in the end. It might brick really hard at the start of a match. And I mean, Murder Spikes will self-sacrifice your health, but Nurg doesn't care, right? But if you're running something like Wesker, would you run this over Spikes? Probably not. Because again, Memory 4 is a little bit difficult for black to reach sometimes, especially if you're holding on to your predations and stuff like that you don't want to use right away. For Uro, it's a little bit easier, but again, I don't know if you would really run this because, I mean, the biggest example I can think of is like if a mana ramp unit hits the board right away, you could kill them with this, right? But if there's a 2-attack unit that hits the board right away, you can't kill it with this. So I think this card's okay, but I don't know if it entirely replaces Murder Spikes or if you run all like 6 of these things or like, 3 of these, 3 Murder Spikes. It's an interesting idea. I don't really know why they made another one of these like Murder Spike type cards, but the fact that it doesn't self-sacrifice your health is interesting because sometimes you're low on health and you might have a Murder Spikes in your hand and then you can't use it or else you die, right? So this does come in handy for like endgame stuff, right? So it's kind of interesting to like pick your poison. Obsessive Duel, another 2-cost. We kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. This is probably going to see a lot of play in just Ouroboros decks where, you have to pay attention to the wording, right? So it places a random enemy unit from their graveyard on the field, which means there has to be an open spot available and they have to have a unit in their graveyard. So after that happens, it places a random unit from your graveyard in front of it. So if you're playing a lot of tall units in Ouroboros, this might not be an issue. You're probably going to win the duel. But if they're also playing Ouroboros, you might not want to do that, right? And if they're playing like a revenge heavy, DD deck or Sigma only revenge, there's going to be nothing in their graveyard. This card always bricks, right? So it does come with a risk, just to keep that in mind. So I don't know if you run this as a 3 of, but it is another way to bring your card back from the graveyard at random. If you want to heal with more Magalas, you can definitely abuse this. Just be aware of the risk. We can talk about Bolt Reaver's Valor really quick. This card is, a legendary, only 2 cost. It'll sacrifice 3 life, but it gives a unit 3 attack at the start. But at memory 7, it'll give it flight and agility. I have seen this card used on Super Tyrants and Devil Jehos a couple times already. Surprisingly,
Ridiculous.
Oro can reach memory like 7 and 8 rather quickly, with enough thrones, rebirths, sacrifices, all that fun stuff. This is actually really easy to get to in an action-heavy Oro deck. I don't know about other decks if they would use this. Maybe in something like green, black, Nurg. I think I have seen this used because you're spamming a bunch of actions for buffing and protecting and stuff like that. So this would probably see play in green black as well. It's really scary. Yeah, it's basically Devil Trigger with attack +3 for only 2 cost. And again, that sacrifice 3 life doesn't really matter much. Yeah, this card is pretty nuts in the right situations, but it's not applicable for every single black deck, right? But when it goes off, then you better have an answer, or else you're going to lose very fast within the
Yeah,
next few seconds, right? It's
Heartless Experiment +1 when it can also be Devil Trigger for black.
yeah. Just the fact that it gets flight and agility is a little absurd. They really went all out with this card.
It's your 2 favorite
And
things.
I don't know if black really needed it, but they're welcome to have it. Let's see here. Kind of gonna skip through a little bit now. Bloodbath Frenzy at 3. This card has been seeing a little bit of play. And people are kind of scared of it. It's a 1/2 buff and sacrifices 2 life. But at memory 2, it'll get an extra 1/1, so then it becomes a 2/3 buff. And it also gets spillover. And at memory 4, it gets an instant attack. So again, memory 4 can be a little tricky at the start, but I feel like some black decks don't have that issue. And I mean the fact that it's just an instant attack with, +2 attack and spillover. Yeah, it's pretty nuts in the right situation. I haven't actually pulled this card yet, but I would definitely include it as a one of in certain decks for sure, because basically it's a little bit better than Psycho Power at that point while costing a little bit more. But you just get so much value off of it. Even if it doesn't hit the hero, you're still getting like really good spillover, right? Yeah, so that's another card to watch out for. Black basically got a lot of really good buffs.
I was gonna say this
this
is like
expansion with
Starvation. This is what
their actions.
Starvation ended up being. Like,
Yeah, it's interesting that they nerfed Starvation because it was definitely ridiculous, but then they just like give these epics and legendaries insane effects as well for basically the same cost. Like I don't know if that was intentional or what they're doing, but they really want like sacrifice heavy buffs to like be a thing in black for some reason.
instant attack is
Which definitely
also
makes
really
black
scary.
scarier. Yeah, the fact that it gets instant attack is like, I thought we were past that point where we didn't have to worry about instant attacks anymore, but we're bringing it back now for some reason.
Yeah, if you sneak a Joe
Um,
past somebody and then play this after the attack resolves, man, that's a quick.
Yep.
Was it 14 damage?
Yeah, it
I was
would
playing
get
with this in a Revenge Wesker deck, and just backed in the corner, just threw this on a Revenge zombie who's 5/2, and then that just made that zombie into a problem, right? Because he
Yep.
comes a 7/5.
Yeah.
God, and the
Pretty scary.
spillover. I didn't
Um,
realize that spillover.
Yeah, it gets spillover as well. Yeah, as if all the other stuff wasn't enough, it has spillover on top.
I'm telling you, man, put it on Joe, and it's like
Yeah,
slam the board.
yeah, it's kind of nuts. I mean, the best target in my opinion is Super Zombie, or not Super Zombie, Super Tyrant.
Oh, right.
Just because of the combo built in. And yeah, I think buffing Super Tyrant as a side note is going to be very meta. Like people are going to run a lot more buffs just because they exist now. And I mean, murder spikes has always been a thing that they've been scared about. But now they have even more buffs to work with. So yeah, you got to be really careful when fighting Super Tyrants while they're out there, which is kind of like why I was playing V at first, because he can bounce Super Tyrants right away, no questions asked. But outside of that, if you're doing an action, you're gonna have to expect buffs at some point. So they're gonna be avoiding it. You got to be careful. But moving away from the actions for a second, let's look at Sigma. 4 cost. I mean, I think everybody had a meme Sigma deck at some point today. Whether they're just playing nothing but Sigma or trying a full revenge deck like I have. Getting 8 revenge ticks either way seems to be possible as long as the game keeps going. So some people like playing Bringer of Nightmares right now with Sigma, but in my opinion, I think the best way to do revenge is still with DD. It just helps stall and help you build up more revenge. But I think either way right now is looking really good right now. I did want to highlight again, I mentioned him earlier, but 8 Gates. He's been streaming a lot recently. He did a big stream earlier today where he was just playing nothing but a green Bringer of Nightmares deck with only Sigma as the unit. And I only found this out today, but outside of possessing Malice, there's another way to make a copy of Sigma, and that's with Gold Orb. So apparently Gold Orb works on units that aren't green. Um, but when Sigma dies, his Revenge will proc, but then Gold Orb will actually revive him as a second copy, which is, not expected, but at the same time, kind of makes sense. So, with 3 Gold Orbs and 3 Malices, you're making an army of Sigmas, more or less. And it's a very interesting way to play the deck, where he just uses like hero shields, and it was working really well against Denjin because he has hero shields. But like Sigma, once he does get the 8 revenge procs off, whether through himself or through other revenge, he will go to your hand for 2 MP and 4/8 like usual, but then he gets that extra 3/3 with heavy pierce. So he becomes a 7/11 with heavy pierce. And I mean, if you're not winning the game at that point, then you must have did something wrong, because that's basically game ending. I mean, if you slap Bloodbath Frenzy on, Revenge Sigma with heavy pierce at that point, you probably just won the game right there. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop that unless they have a bounce. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. So obviously endgame Sigma is a big problem, but that doesn't make him invulnerable,
Thank
right?
you for the follow.
As we said
Eldritch
before, purple
Elephant.
can steal him a couple different ways or just bounce him, which makes it annoying. Red has a new card that banishes units on destroys, so they're targeting Sigma with that. And then black in general can just keep doing destroys. Obviously, this guy is not safe from fate, but if Living Death hits him, he would get banished. But the revenge mirror is going to be really interesting. I haven't really seen it that much to see how much they fight each other. But yeah, Sigma's a very interesting card, and a lot of people like him right now. I'm glad Revenge is seeing more play now. It's kind of crazy they made him Infinite Revenge though. I'm kind of surprised they did that. I don't think they realized that Malice and Orb would make copies of him. I don't think they realized that in hindsight.
When I first saw this card, I saw the Revenge triggered 8 more times. I thought it was just on this card in particular. If it triggers 8 times, I'm like, damn, that is going to take forever. And then I realized 8 total, and I was like, oh, we in there.
Pretty crazy. But yeah, that like Sigma's definitely the most interesting unit that Black got, by far. I mean, there's other stuff, but it's like more the same. Nothing too special. I did want to point out Nello Angelo really quick as a 5 cost. He works similar to Dynamo, where he basically has to be the only unit on the field. If something else is played on the field, then he kind of loses his effect. So what Nello Angelo does is he gets +4 attack if there's no other units on the field. So if you play him solo, he's a 5/8, which is decent for 5 cost. But if you get any other unit on the field at that time, he goes back down to 1/8, which is really underwhelming. So for an epic card, this is a little disappointing for me. But at least he doesn't kill himself like Dynamo does. I guess it's a weird card. I haven't seen anyone use this, so I don't know. Let's see here. I did want to point out Reckless Brawl. It's a 5 cost action, has Cody on it with Abigail in the back there. This was the other card I mentioned as a card that Earl might possibly play. Again, this will place a random unit from your graveyard in front of an enemy unit. So if you have an open slot and your opponent, has 1 unit on the board in front of it, then you're going to be able to summon a unit to the graveyard or from the graveyard to that slot. But at Memory 4, it gives a +1/+1. So in my opinion, this just isn't as good as Rebirth, because Rebirth always has that, random chance of just going to an empty slot, right? So if you wanted to summon your devil, for example, from the graveyard, sometimes you want that rush to hit the hero. You couldn't do it with this. It has to be in front of an enemy. And the same thing with that dual card or whatever. It has to be in front of an enemy. which is really unfortunate for these 2 res cards in the set. Like I still think they don't power creep Rebirth at all. Like Rebirth is still just super effective for the price, and the fact that you can do it on empty board. But I wouldn't rule out this card or the other one that 2 cost for Oro decks. At best, this is probably a one of. I don't know if I'd use this myself. I didn't pull it, and it's an epic, much like the other one at 2
So
cost.
so Reckless Brawl
it's just-
is it won't work if there are no enemies.
If there's no enemy unit on the board, this won't work.
Oh my god. Ugh, okay.
Yeah, like they made these res cards really specific for some reason. Well, Rebirth still exists as a 3 cost, which, I mean, it debuffs them 1/1, but who cares, right? Like, it's a good effect. So yeah, for anyone considering to play Uro and looks at these cards, just keep that in mind. That you know, you might set yourself up for a bad time. But sometimes
Yeah.
you do need that block, so this could be handy. If there's a unit on the board and you needed the block, you can't really take your chances with Rebirth because it might miss. So, you know, this could come in handy as a
There's
blocker.
a card just like it in the green side too, by the way. It's a Destined Confrontation. It does the same thing, it place a unit, but instead of from graveyard, it's from the deck with
From your
an
deck,
MP
yeah.
cost. Yeah, with an MP cost of 5 or less, which is a little dangerous. You might get like a 3 cost for paying for 4, but it works the same way. If they have no units, you can't play it. And if you do play it and they lose that unit in the action phase before it goes through, you will not get a unit.
Right. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting how they design these cards. Like they look powerful on the surface, but they kind of have limitations, right? So they carry some risks. And I can highlight Rebel's Memories, which is the other legendary action. It is a 6 cost. It'll destroy a random enemy unit, so it's a little like unwieldy. Like you'd rather use Obliterate to target something. But at Memory 7, it destroys all units, which includes both your side and the opponent's side, right? So one situation where if you have a full board, and let's say they're all slow tyrants, or maybe 1 or 2 of them are slow tyrants, you can use this, and the slow tyrants will turn into super tyrants while your opponent gets wiped out, right? So that's a really nasty combination I thought of. But outside of that, it's just a very cost-effective cruel game. In my opinion, this power creeps cruel game, even though cruel game you could do right away. This is just less risk, right? Because cruel game, if you have units on your side, you can't really use it. If you want to clear your opponent's side, right? So I like this a lot. I would use it if I had it. It probably replaces like Betrayal for Uro. Honestly, like Betrayal's in an awkward spot right now where you don't really want to use it anymore. And I think this would replace it, in my opinion. But again, Memory 7 can take a while. Same with the other legendary, right? You got to get that memory up pretty quickly if you want to get the most out of it. And we kind of talked about Krauser a little bit. I did not know that he works when just being placed on the board, whether from Rebirth, Uro, or from hand. So that's kind of cool. At the same time, he is a little expensive. So I think outside of Uro, I don't think this card would see any play. You definitely wouldn't use him over something like, you know, Legend of Kuma, which has some extra effects and can ascend. But he's interesting. He might be good as a 1 of in some decks, but I would try him in Uro if I got him. That was really it for Black. It's weird because they kind of like stay the same more or less. Like if you look at an updated Uro list, they might have some of the new actions, but that's it. And the same thing for like Dark Destruction. They only add Sigma with their Revenge, and that's it. But there's some cute actions. There's some possibilities there. Speech again is pretty hilarious in some situations. But yeah, overall, I think Black just slowly got better. Like they didn't really need to improve that much. They were already good. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting how the decks that Black's using right now, that like they're not going to change that much. Yeah.
Dude, Will's
That's
asking
kinda
you
my
about that new growth unit, that gate.
So there is a growth unit in Black. I don't know why, but it's interesting.
To help Nero
Gate.
out.
Yeah.
To help
Recall.
Nier out in Black. Got him, dude.
Yeah. I mean, on growth, 3, he's gonna gain the same effect that Junie has, where on death he gains 1 MP for you. But at max growth, he basically becomes a dive bomb target, where he gains 4/4 and destroys himself after 1 attack. Some people said this is better than Junie, but I still think if you want to run an Ascension deck, you are still going to be playing Junie because the growth effect does not work if you're ascending on top of this guy. As far as I know, I don't think it would work. So why would you do Ascension on this guy when you can just play Junie, right? She already gets you the 1 MP. And I guess the dive bomb effect, if he is still at 2/5, he becomes 6/9 and destroys himself after 1 attack. It could be good as a blocker. But again, getting max of growth of 6 can be difficult. And I speak from experience of playing a lot of Gore Magala. Sometimes that growth of 6 is just really, really difficult. But the fact that you're playing a 3 cost here makes it a little bit easier because you can just go 3/3/3. But it would take a lot of setup to work that way. I don't think he really replaces any cards in other decks. Like he wouldn't fit in Revenge, and he wouldn't really fit in like a Nurg deck. You'd rather use Dynamo growth because that leads to self damage, and he's a lot stronger while staying on the board. It's just a weird card. I don't know where he fits in right now.
I'm a fan of dive bomb, so you put dive bomb on a card. Yeah, boy.
You could buff him with dive bomb after he gets the dive bomb effect to make it an even bigger dive bomb. Sure.
I just like
Realize.
the oh, he's about to die. It's just like whoop. Now he's got 4/4. Hope you're okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, if you can set it up, be interesting surprise.
All
I
right.
just thought of a meme now that
Oh,
I'm probably gonna do right after this is I'm gonna do black green with dive bomb, and then fusion whoever I dive bomb to make all their stats go to another unit.
yeah, boy.
How do you-
Give some stats to
Ow.
Killer B real quick.
Oh man.
Oh, I mean, it'd be kind of hard.
Yes.
That's nasty.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like green and black are going hand in hand right now. There's a lot of
Whoa.
good synergy there. It's kind of funny.
So,
I do want to add one thing real quick for Rebels memories. So until these X's and their charge shot and their wills are broken, there are a lot of God karma machines. So Rebels memories is fantastic for ruining their day with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good point. And X Hunters, by the way.
Yeah,
that
that
would clear them out.
card, man, that card.
a lot of tech that could be built up, like a long game between purple and black. You're expecting something like X Hunters. You're gonna have that Rebels memories ready, but they might have their Mavericks memories ready to go.
Mavericks.
Oof.
Battle of the memories.
It's gonna be and
Pretty much.
then you get shot, dude. The animation on Agent's memories, ooh, just puts 2 holes in them, dude.
I still haven't
Yeah, I
seen
got
it.
2 holes hit into me for 15 damage. That was the worst. That
Oh,
was the
yeah, I
first
got it.
time I looked at the animation too.
If you haven't seen it, Chris, I got a video for you to watch.
Oh my goodness. It got
Bill used
clipped.
it on me, but then I quit right away. I
It
didn't
got
want to see
clipped.
It
He
got
totally
clipped,
said
oh
it
my
to me.
it. Nice. I think my favorite animation out of all the legendaries, though, is Sigma for sure. Like, it's so sick.
The little
Mm,
flag.
I agree with
It's
that.
so good. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
I like how he makes like a little beep every time he enters the field.
Okay,
so
that's what that
basically,
sound
like, the
is?
warning buzzer
Yes, that's what the
from
sound is.
Mega Man X games.
I'm like, what the?
Whenever a new boss approaches,
Mm-hmm.
and then he
like
has the
beep.
logo and it's like the cave. It's so sick. Just like busting out.
Oh, that ages memories, man. I don't have it on this source. I'd have to set up a browser thing to show everybody, but you can click on the link there. It's
Okay.
just dope,
Yeah,
man.
check it
Just
out.
like bam, bam, dude. Sick.
Yeah, it's just me getting messed up and being shook by getting messed up.
Oh, the sound with
Listen.
Leon too has like little lasers, dude. Dude. They're
Oh,
little
yeah,
touches, but I
That's pretty
friggin' love a lot of the legendary units coming out of the
they're
field,
really
just
going
like
all out with
boom.
them. Yeah, really cool effects.
2 bullet holes, dude. I've only played a
2
few
bullet
matches because I had to prep for this, but like, yo, there were some times where I was just like, all right, I'm styling on this person. I want to finish him off with the gun, dude. Give me the memories. Shoot this chick. So
What's
what
yours
else?
if we could like all the legendary effects? That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. So we went over all the interesting stuff from all the colors. What do we think might be the top? Well, there's usually like a trinity. There's usually like 3 decks at the top. What do you think? And I know it's really hard to tell at this point, but
Mm.
what do you think
Yes.
might be the holy trinity, the triad?
Um, I think that zero will be tier one, and it'll be like a cut above the rest.
Mm.
Why is
Okay.
that?
Because
Well,
he's
what's
I
your
got
top
think
three,
it's
secret.
Io?
because of how strong it is for removal based effects. And
Yeah.
even if I can't use like if the meta shifts and I can't use some of the cards, I'm sure we can find like another way to redo the deck. And then with negates, if you can last out in a game with like Rakuha and drag it out and then have a negate ready like Maverick's memories, then you can effectively like ensure your win. It seems like
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, as long as that negates.
Yeah, the negates is just very powerful.
Yeah, people are
Yep.
talking really big about Denjin, and I think negates are kind of where that would lose traction. You lose
Oh yeah,
your powered up, stuff. Your 7 damage headshots could be
It's
negated.
hard.
Beyond that, I think Denjin's gonna have a problem too, because if it were to become the meta deck, it's again similar to Charge Shot X. If you know what's coming, it's easy to build around.
yeah.
And for pretty much almost every color in a way.
Yeah. It's tough. Like endgame dungeon is almost impossible to win against. Like once they've built up enough, then you can't really do anything about it. But a good counter to the dungeon I found is Ouroboros. If you can get the Magalas off, you're healing a lot more than they can do to you. Granted, they have Agent's Memories now, so it might be a little bit tougher to outlast it if they buff it enough. But at the same time, I think it's a really good counter to it. I mean, black in general is weird against Denjin. I think Nerg just loses to it hard because he's doing so much self damage. But I think Wesker decks with enough predation and self heals again with the Magalas can outlast it.
So we got 0, maybe Denjin. I don't know. Do you guys think that might be one of the top 3 or no?
I think
I think so.
Zero's top 3, but I think like Thirsty Game said, Denjin it could get countered
Something.
because it's gimmicky.
Ooh,
I think right now it's good though.
you're gonna make a lot of
Yeah.
people upset in the chat, dude. Calling Denjin a
Denjin
gimmick.
definitely seems like it's definitely going to give black decks the most trouble because they don't have as many answers, whereas green can just heal, and if it really were to become a problem, just shield through it. But it's one of those cases where if it really, your deck needs to be good against multiple, right? Like when Ryu was the scariest thing in the world with Day of Nightmares, X was great against Ryu, but you still didn't see X because it's like he's trash against everything
Yeah.
else. So I think like Denjin might be great against black decks for the most part, but he's still just going to struggle against a purple that's ready for Denjin or a green that's ready for Denjin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, people were talking about Denjin before this card set even came out. Like, oh man, it might be a big deal for them. But that was also when purple wasn't as strong. But now we're back in the swing of things with purple. We're back in there with negates, and I think negates are probably the fastest way to take the wind out of Denjin sails.
Yeah, Zero's the only one that I kind of feel comfortable thinking is really powerful and top 3 right now. Everything else kind of has to shake out a little bit more because they did give all the colors a lot of tools that kind of help with some of their problem areas that
Mm-hmm.
I think they can build around a lot of things. Whereas I watch a lot of
Take the wind
Zero
out of
and I
those
start
things.
theory crafting and I just want to crawl into a ball and cry because I
Yeah.
don't see a lot of answers to a lot of things. But we'll see too. I mean,
Yeah.
that could shake out as well. Like it's like Chris D said, Zero's really scary because you can just throw whatever you want and it just is working right now because purple has so many tools just built into it by itself on top of this big removal.
Yep. Good hero art and a lot of good actions.
A very spammable hero art.
Damn.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's very easy. I'm always surprised when I have Rakoha ready again. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll do it again.
God damn it. I mean, when I first saw
You don't have to
Rakoha, I
wait.
was just like, oh, you're just gonna be able to like stay afloat as much as best as you can, and then like at the end of the game, oh, I have 60 AP. Time to just blow up your board every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't usually save up, but I've seen some people do it.
Yeah, there's
It's
definitely
definitely worse
effective
than
ways to
dirt
do
at
it.
that point. Yeah.
So we got Zero Rakoha, I think is gonna be good. What about Yawn? Where's Yawn right now? Kind of hard to say. Everyone's trying Zero stuff out, I know, but
It's
I
good.
it's still good, but I think it's not going to be what it used to be, and I definitely do think it's going to lose to like a Zero Rakoha meta too as well.
Yeah.
That 5
Yawn
AP
God.
hurt it like quite a bit. I know Iowa did a match I was watching, and he just wanted to yawn, but no
He
AP.
wanted to yawn, but he wasn't tired. Not like right now at all.
Chun Li is too woke right now.
Right. No, I played against that X player the one game that I played Yon, and I almost lost that game. I actually should have lost that game because the player like let his board die. And even Thirsty Games was like his
I was
eyes
so
were like,
mad. Oh my God.
yes.
He had the Dream X charge shot board and
Mm-hmm.
just let it go. Just like this is fine. I'm sure he went right onto Reddit and was like, "Yawn is the worst thing ever." No, can't blame Yawn for that one.
Yeah.
So we don't have a third one yet though. What could possibly be the number 3? Well, if
It
Denjin
has
is
to be
up
something
there.
black.
Purple and black.
Mm,
It has to be something black, I think.
here's what I
Like whether
think.
it's revenge or what. I don't know.
I actually think the deck that I built is very uninteractable because I just wait for you to play cards, and if you don't, then we either take the double loss or we try to fight it out in like the last 50 seconds or something. Like it's pretty uninteractable, but I do think that if my deck becomes more popular, a really good counter to it would probably be Denjin, even though it is kind of gimmicky. Then that
Yeah.
might move up a little bit to beat out all the Zero players if they're doing the
Yeah,
same build as me.
Mm-hmm.
Like how uninteractable is a good thing when you're talking about the deck being effective, but when you talk about like playing the game, oh, you can't interact with it. Great. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, my whole stream wasn't my opponent's not playing the game. It was kind of sad.
It was
Like that's why
kinda
I don't
sad.
play purple a whole lot. At least not the uninteractive version of purple. That's why I don't like playing it. But you know, this is what I do.
I do think there's a lot of potential and a lot of hero arts that aren't kind of being looked at right now because they're not as apparent.
Hmm.
I do think Rathalos did get a lot of support in some small ways that can be a little bit scary. And a lot of other hero arts too. Like I said, I'm looking at Gaia armor again now that we have things to support, make units big without needing to have hero art specifically around it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Definitely going to be trying all the things.
I mean, I'm gonna be doing the same old stuff I always do. Mono Red Jill. Wow. I mean, it's really tough to say this early, but I think the problem with the last meta is that we figured out Yawn too fast, and then there were just, instead of three decks forming like this, this triad, this rock, paper, scissors, we only had these two types that were just, you either play these two decks or you just lose.
Well, Ascension was such an interesting one because I do remember when that mechanic got in, everyone's brain went to Yawn is going to be broken. And it just
Yeah.
turned out to be 100% true. With memories, everyone is like, oh, Ryu's going to be broken. Jill's going to be broken. Zero is just broken because that's his birthright. Wesker, like there's all these characters that they definitely benefit more from this than just the straight obvious Ascension for Yon.
Grars is asking about red green Explorer Jill. I mean, and to piggyback off of what Thirsty was saying, people thought, this is going to be Jill's set. I'm not so sure that's the case yet. We'll see. But I did try red green Explorer just for the Nero card, because if you look at Explore as a keyword, he shows up. I mean, there's only one new Explorer, but he is a new Explore related card.
Yeah.
And he basically, if he was red, this would be OD. It would be nuts. But he's not. It's still good.
He's green.
I mean, Dimitri's kind of similar, right?
It's pretty similar, but the problem with Dimitri is that he needs that antibody support, or else he's a paper bag. He just rips easily. 5 HP. But being able to play Nero with, like, after having 7 Explorers, 9/11? Dude, Nero is 9/11? Oof. Yikes, too soon.
I do want to do another green Explore, mono green deck, considering Nero's in there, and just Explore decks just synergizes so well with memories.
I said 7 Explorer, Nero is 9/11, dude. Nero was 9/11. Yeah, I'd like to see the mono green Explorer again, and it's cool that they have some more support. But damn, I wish this card was red. But it's tough to go back to bicolor after being monocolor for so long, dude. It's like that paranoia of hearing that sound effect when your mana hits maximum.
We'll give you Nero. You just give us Agent's Memories, and then everything will be great.
Listen, that's not fair. You can have Nah, I don't want to give you Nash. But I do think it could replace Nash. It is nice that it's like scalable and like later game, like Nero could be stronger than Nash, especially if you run the new Charlie card that gives you a combo when he dies. Which I was like, once I pulled all my stuff and I was just like, all cards, explore, and then only 4 things showed up. I was like, thanks. I mean, we got some new tools, but it was kind of sad. I was like, can I get a seal? Can I get a negate? Can we get some new toys?
You can be a Nero player and look up the growth keyword.
Yeah, how about growth?
Shh, dude, Nero, I don't even know who that character is, dude. Get him out of here.
I love
we
that
did
they
get
gave
one action card.
Yeah, one action card. That's just silly.
Yeah.
Explore is fun for the whole family. Growth is silly. I mean, think about it. You're just playing units.
Absolutely 0 Ascension support, by the way.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too.
Yep.
I keep forgetting Akuma's actually in this game.
Yep. There was no Ascends. Rip.
Well, he what does he still have? He won't really. I mean, you can still use old cards. He has,
Yeah, he's in a weird spot. So
he's got Sekia, dude. He's fine. He's fine.
yeah, good luck with that. People are just playing Ashura with Akuma now. It's pretty sad.
I think my Raging Demon deck is still pretty decent.
Yeah, Demon could still work for removing certain stuff, especially if it's like a heavy, tall unit purple deck you're going up against. That instant remover is really satisfying.
I mean, there are some of the black Ascensions that get a shield, right? Like that might be a decent counter to Rikoha, right? You can throw that down. And because I did see Iowa playing against Raging Demon, and it's just anything he threw down was just dying. That's just the name of the game. Playing against Rikoha, you put it down. If it's not over 7 health, it's most likely going to die.
Yep. Or bounced. Or put back in your deck.
Dude, the bouncy boys. I've been seeing so much 0. I'm just like, I'm a little scared of the bounces at this point. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's only been less than a day. Is everybody just tired?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. I mean, we all woke up early, or
And
didn't get
streamed
much
like
sleep.
so much. Man.
Yeah, we've been. How far are we now from the launch? About
I don't know.
20 hours.
I can't even think right now.
Yeah, about 20 hours.
20 hours or so,
Something like that. Man.
and some of us haven't slept since then. So
Ridiculous.
I'm on like 3 hours of sleep, and right after this, I'm gonna just go and actually play.
Right after this?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm done playing tonight.
You're gonna keep playing? Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I had to work today, so most of my
Oh.
day was.
Same.
I mean, still playing, but off to the side and not really focused on it.
Okay.
I was
That's
working
fair.
and just
That's
watching
fair.
streams, staying in Discord and talking about the game, and just wondering why I didn't take the day off.
Dude, I'm telling you, you gotta like every 2 months just take one day off.
I got
Right.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta hit champions, and I did promise I would do it with Charge Shot X, which I hate because last night I was like, "Oh, I'm doing this with Zero. It's so much fun," and then I reminded myself.
So are you streaming Thursday?
Yeah, I'll be streaming it.
Oh,
I'll be there.
Sick.
I'll
Alright, I'll
be there,
watch.
dude. right after this, damn.
There you go.
I just hope you don't run into a whole lot of zeros. That
Oh, I
sometimes
will.
happens.
It's just gonna be the EXGP preview.
Oh no.
Before
man.
we adjourn, I have one inflammatory question. What is the color hierarchy in the game right now? What's the best
Oh my
color?
gosh. We
Oh.
doing this?
Tier list?
We doing this?
I made this podcast so I could ask inflammatory questions. What's the best card in the game? Who's the best hero?
That's a pretty good one. I gotta say purple. Sorry guys.
Right now, purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, purple's looking
Sure.
kind of scary, but
Man, you guys aren't supposed to agree with me. You're
What's-
supposed to like be like,
what's
"You're
number
wrong,
2?
Iowa."
I disagree.
what's number 2?
It's
That's a really hard
I'm
one.
torn between black and red. For sure, not green.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's the toss up for I think everyone. I think black over red, but it's close. I think they're tied, probably.
In my
But it's close.
opinion, I could see both of them being good. I think Ouroboros kind of gives black an edge because like Ouroboros is still good, and it also it's actually one of the decks to hit Zero. If Zero's going to be running all these bounce spells, Ouroboros
Yeah.
would be a contender.
Yep. It's tough though. They're both
think
slow.
But red is still
They-
good, especially with Denjin.
Dungeons.
Because Denjin actually don't play fair, to be honest.
They don't.
I'm super glad those. I want Denjin to like prosper because that would cut out the Nerg decks of like, turn 1 Urizen and here's some other units that hurt me. Oh, now I have 6 HP, but you're not doing shit. You're gonna be just
Yeah.
looking at an empty board. So I think if Denjin does well, then it'll stop all those decks.
I would not mourn the loss of Unga Bunga Nerg.
Yes.
Now we got Unga Bunga Zero.
Yeah, you
Lol.
But it's like the slowest Unga Bunga. Like,
It's too easy to play.
Slow Unga Bunga, dude.
It's only slow because it waits till 10 and then it just slams 3 cards on the board immediately, right?
yeah.
It's like yours in 3/3 or 3/3/3 Dynamo Zombie Dinorex all of a sudden. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then they Alexia, then they have enough for Spike Launch all of a sudden, and you lose the game. It's like, all right, well, good games, I guess.
Yeah, turn 1 Urizen really sucks for Jill because it's like, what a boneheaded move. It's just like, oh shit, I don't have Claire to take out that Urizen. I gotta hold on. Let me get 3 explorers here. Oh wait, dead.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, whatever.
That's what we got agents memories for, dude. Shoot him in the face. Got him. Sniped. So
Yeah.
green is the worst color.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
we had one competitive viable hero art that got nerfed. Rightfully
Yawn.
so got nerfed, but
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I
much
think
better.
they might actually review all the hero arts now that we all have an additional hero, and we have some cards that are producing hero art effects. We have a dive bomb card. We have an ebony and ivory card. We have so it would make sense to like further incentivize those lesser use hero arts again.
I will say I do think I don't think it's going to be high up there, but I do believe Charge Shot X is going to tilt some people climbing up the ladder because it is becoming
I
the
think
new
that's
dumb
fine.
unga.
I think it's good. It's decent.
It got some support. That's good, even if it's not
Yeah.
the best.
There's some ways to play it, right?
So, what do you guys think is the worst card in the set?
Oh god.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Any of those 4 cost on death sends a
Oh yeah, dude,
yeah,
Manuel,
You
dude,
know what? Oh man.
or Marvin.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
we're gonna. Yeah, there's gonna be a tier list next week, guys, of all the cards from the expansion. It's usually what I do. It's usually after first 1 week of the expansion, and I think we're gonna do it on the show here. Spoilers: all of those 4 cost cards that send 2 cards to the graveyard might end up in Dalmador tier right now. I'm telling you.
Change it to
Like,
Marvin
they
tier.
all might show.
I don't know. Dalamador was pretty good like a week ago when you could play him in 10 MP
10
decks.
MP.
Yeah, that was legendary.
As soon as you said Dalmador was pretty good, you just stop right there. Just
Dude,
You know
was
I'm right.
that
They were
dude that
kicking butt in ranked.
that made Nero really good for a hot minute.
I heard it beat like world's class players
Mm,
in
You only need a
ranked.
game-breaking bug to make Nero
must be
good.
better. Yeah.
So
Outside
out
of
of
that, I
all
don't
of
know.
these 4 costs though, who's the worst?
Mm.
I hate how Marvin's art looks like that because he's all messed up. It's like, thanks.
Thanks, dude.
Right. Mm.
It's like,
Puts
this is the
2
card to put in my
legendaries in your
second.
graveyard for you. Oh, thanks. Thanks, guy.
Mm.
He's hiding the cards in his hands. He just crumpled them up.
He's like, oh shit. Did you
All
want
the
something
cards,
like Kolv?
I think-
What do you call it? Taroth.
Mm.
I'm big I really don't like the green one. This gives you random friendly unit +1/+4. Absolutely have to have a second unit on board to get an effect out of it.
Oh, Lewis,
Yes.
yeah.
2/3,
That one's really
dude.
weird.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. I think the one growth action card for green is pretty bad. I mean, it's only +3 growth points and 1 attack when you could just use a 1 MP growth card for 5 points. Why did they make this card? Ironic Fate.
Because
I
it's
don't understand.
basic.
Because that is Nero's ironic fate.
It's
Yeah.
basic.
It should be him looking at his own skull
Whoa.
on the art there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. I don't know if there's anything worse.
What about the art on Lullaby where she's just like just making Ahageho
Good
face,
artwork.
dude?
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was hoping it'd be a good card, but it's not. So I can't even play it.
I mean, it's permanent debuff, right?
I wonder what happens if you permanently debuff your opponent's board and they just can't play any cards. Like they're just all zeros.
Then you win.
Well, you do that with
You time out.
Hmm.
How about this?
Are you
Difficult.
saying what if purple could board lock you and you couldn't do
Whoa.
anything until you died?
what if you were stuck at 10 MP while purple just kind of danced in the corner?
Listen, I'm
This
just talking
happened
about
to
new
me.
ways to do it.
Yeah. This
I'm
We
happened
need
feeling
to me
more
attacked right
ways to
now.
do this.
We
Yeah.
do, we do. That's what purple does.
I was kind of actually locked at one point because I only had a 1 attack V on the board, and my opponent played 2 of the Mizutsune, the 4 MP bird that has agility, and when attacking, it debuffs a random enemy by 1. So for like a good 30 seconds, they had 2 of these on the board, and they were perfectly synced where every time they went to the other side, V would go down to 0. So it was actually impossible to do any damage to them, and I had to build up for my next unit. So when 2 of them are on the board, they can do a lot. Like, they can really make you really upset because they're constantly debuffing with agility. It's insane.
There's one card that refers to attack as ATK, and it's the only card in the game, and it weirds me out.
Really?
Are you freaking kidding me? Don't show me this.
There it is.
I'll just text it.
Hold on. Power Unleashed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this thing.
I mean,
What?
I kind of do that naturally sometimes. It's like ATK, but like this weird for this game to actually see it. I'm like, why?
Yeah, that makes 0 sense to me. There is another text error where they put something gets like plus, and then there's also another one where it's like minus minus.
Yeah, loss of meaning. Give -1 MP to a
Oh,
random
that's right,
active
dude.
word.
+1.
Yeah,
Sweet.
negative.
Oh wait, did they fix the cruelty for Explore?
No, I saw that like
No.
just
Yes,
little bit
dude.
ago.
Cruelty for Explore.
Was that something
Wait.
not?
Oh no, I'm not looking at the every set.
Cruelty for
Didn't-
Explorer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of the cards
is
they.
cruelty for Explorer.
There it is, Vega.
Wow.
What's wrong with it?
What's right with it, dude?
Oh shoot! Has it always been like
Read it,
that?
yeah.
Has it always been
Yeah.
like that though? I don't know. I never played that card.
Vega's giving you that face
Yes,
for
I
just
guess
finding
so.
out.
He's
Huh.
like, yeah, you're reading it backwards.
It's like one of those memes that's like you just read this and didn't realize that it was backwards.
He says it's got to be patched like that? Wow.
No way.
Cruelty for Explore. I mean, don't mind if I do.
Izzy Dead Cuddle says it got patched to be like that. Oh my gosh.
Actually, I think one interesting thing we could probably talk about before we go is any of Zero's basic cards. If we think any of those are like worthwhile.
There's a
where can I
flight card in there, so that one's pretty good, of course.
The only one that I liked was the 5 cost Zero, but that's only because it's like budget friendly, so people can play it.
Oh yeah, combo and res.
And what I really like about the 5-drop Zero is how you can stack it with the first hero art for Zero, where you can buff the stats. So on like the first trigger, he becomes like a 4/12 with combo, so he deals 8 damage. So the card overall like is good, and it's free. What's
Yeah,
better than free?
solid.
A good effect. Just kidding.
I'm actually a big fan of the Hunk too in there. I don't have him in my deck right now.
Oh
but I
yeah,
think
someone was
it's
saying
Hunk is
something
cool.
about Hunk.
Decent
fits
for
into
a 4.
fours. Comes out as a
Yeah.
3/5.
I should probably use him more.
Where is Honk?
I've
Oh, there
seen
he
the
is.
6 held gluttony, but it just is okay. Magna Centipede by itself is whatever, but it can be summoned, which makes it a little bit better.
Yo, Hunk. He's that Carlos with like the already played shield.
Yeah, pretty much. Just built-in shield.
Yeah, my brain is extra on shields with Rakoha going around.
Yo,
There's a card in
speaking
the
of
game
shield-
where you can have 3 shields.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah,
say. Speaking of shield,
that
what the
card.
hell is up with that card?
That's why I really hope we get into a red meta. I'm gonna run like 5 of those.
Wait, which card? Gira?
There is a card
Find it.
that gives you 3 shields.
Elder Frost Fury. It's a 5 cost.
There you go.
Just look at that.
Plus 3 attack.
Just look at it. Hold on, let me.
Shield X3.
Wait, what?
Like, it's just so absurd. Like, why would you do that? Like,
Oh, it's a green card.
Oh, okay, I was looking under
that's green
just
for
purple
you.
for some reason. Also gains shield
Yeah,
times
yeah.
3. No.
like it.
Actually, no.
We need
Look.
more cards like this.
Let's just do the run back of the Jill versus X.
Dude, the mammoth is
Total
already pissed off. That's pretty much how I feel about the whole situation. Shield times 3. I don't know. How about rocket launcher is like 5 hits of 2, dude? How about that? That's
Yeah,
a
machine
wonky
gun
new
for
card,
that.
right?
It's just so
Yeah, that kind of slid past me. I didn't notice.
yeah.
Pygmalion's asking what I think about Hope for the Future. I'm still trying to use it. I'm not a big fan.
Mm,
It's very. It just feels weird a lot of times. It's the +1/+1 to all friendly units. Memory 4 gives +1/+1 to everything in hand and EX pocket. It's I don't know. It's a 4 cost though, so it's a little pricey for that.
Dude, the Porta Potty X, dude. Fucking Occupado.
The thing we thought was going to be a skin.
I
Yeah.
know. I was so, dude, I'm juked.
So I must have jinxed it because in my article I actually wrote it's either a skin or it's a card. Well, it's a card.
Son of a
It's a
bitch.
card. We all got
This
baited.
is my
It's
fault.
fine.
It's my fault.
Didn't want your
Uh,
money,
sorry.
Iowa.
Yeah, I was surprised. I actually have no reason to spend money because I opened like almost $200 worth of packs. It's almost 200 because like you have to pay 80 for the thing. Well, anyways, I opened that many packs and I don't even have a single secret. It's like why do I spend money then? Yeah, I don't have a single
Why am I
secret.
here?
Ow.
This happened in Devil's Awakened also. Like it went away in the Four Seekers. I was like, I'm getting secrets, and then now all of a sudden I'm not getting anything. Just like
A lot of
wow.
people got secrets too.
Yeah,
Yo,
I have 0.
I got like 4 secrets and 40 packs or something.
I got
Red Cat
0.
says-
Screw everybody, dude.
We all got 0.
Did the oh the last set was really generous to me where I just pulled all my normal stuff and I ended up having to use like my legend craft discount on like Devil Trigger from the core set, and it was just like, okay, well, all right. But this set, it was just like, y'all, man, you got like 35 packs. Get bent, dude. Get bent. You're not you're not getting shit.
Get banned.
wow.
Got
Yeah, I don't
nothing.
know.
Well,
My
I
pack luck
mean,
was insane this time, so I can't talk.
yeah, I was disgusted thoroughly.
Mm. Red Catman says, "What about that purple card that gives death and returns it to the EX pocket? Eye of the boat."
It's fair.
I personally do not like that card unless I have like a gimmicky deck. I think that card is gimmicky. Like if I have a purple unit that I suspect that is going to die and I want to bring it back every time, then sure, it's a good card. But if I'm playing a deck where I can rely on multiple copies of a card, then I just don't see the need for it because I'd rather just play the unit. Because you have to
think
mind
that-
yourself that you have to pay for the cost still.
Yeah, everyone forgot that when it came to Yon Lee stuff and calling green stuff
Lol.
broken.
Lol. I mean, what's the card called again? Is that
Interesting exchange
Miraculous
zone.
Awakening? Yeah.
It
Miraculous
does give that
Awakening is the
+2
2 for purple. Yeah.
I think that could support Rezo if you don't want to run that many units and you want to just do that. Wouldn't that be a decent way to preserve your game without having to fish for another unit? Damn, Thirsty or no, Chris is showing it off, dude. The fucking I don't have that. You're gonna have to go to Chris's stream to look at that card.
I don't have it either. I'm sad. I don't have anything. You guys have everything and I have nothing.
I had
That
dude,
zombie looks
the,
like he's just dancing back there, man. He's
the
Yeah.
left side of this podcast has nothing.
She's trying to poke her back, and she's just like, "I'm fine."
Yo, dude.
Best secret.
We got, dude, spooky. Where's my text to speech? It should be reading that. No, I'm sorry. What did it say? I didn't see it. Do it again. Donate $10 again.
do it again so you can see the message. It said buy packs. I want you to buy
Buy
packs.
packs. Okay. Oh my
Bio
goodness,
packs.
dude. If you want,
Whale.
well, dude. Real quick, I can do that.
You called?
Lol.
Yup.
Not yet.
We got the king whale here. The Leviathan.
Let me see. How many jewels can I get for $10?
They have the jewel bundle. I kind of want to buy it because those don't really come off too often.
It's still at the discount.
It's supposed to. They said it on TEPPEN.
Nice.
Is it not there? I'm
I don't
Oh,
looking
know,
at
maybe
the
it's
Valentine.
bundle. Let's see.
Yeah, they said there was a bundle on
The jewel
TEPPEN.
bundle?
I see 12,
Yeah.
12.5 jewels for 80.
Did they lie?
Is
I
it not
think,
up yet?
Well, there
I'm
was the one
actually
that was running right before the expansion came out. I think that expired
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
maintenance ended.
That one definitely expired, but when I heard TEPPEN say there was another jewel bundle, I was like,
Whoa.
I already spent money on this game. I
Alright.
could use a break. Yeah, it's not there. Wow.
I
It's-
spent $1
I will.
today.
I'll
to
definitely
get enough
pull
jewels
some
for the season
stuff
pass.
for Spooky.
$1.
Real quick here, had to buy it up. Oh my goodness. So
Hmm.
let me plug this thing in so we can get audio.
Been bazooled.
Enough for
5
8.
legendaries.
Dude, it's going. Do you guys swipe right or left?
For what?
Diagonal.
Oh,
Diagonal? Do whoa.
Yeah.
I swipe right.
Yeah, I
'Cause I'm
swipe right as
right-handed?
well. Oh, dude.
Well, I guess being right-handed doesn't matter.
I do it as a rebel.
You're gonna get all the secrets, and we're gonna know why Iowa did.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Dude,
So-
did you see Luke's pulls today on
Yeah,
TEPPEN?
on the fucking
I
stream.
was
They were like,
livid. Oh my
I
god.
do, Izzy. I do
Wait,
diagonal
legendary.
in both ways. I make an X when I swipe with it.
Oh, nice.
I'm dedicated. I am.
Like one of his packs just exploded with value. Like it was insane. Like it was just like legendary, epic. It was just like insane. I was like, all right, this is fair.
okay, that's pretty sick. Oh, I already crafted 3 of the rescuers thing. Damn it.
Of course.
Oh, dude, that was... Damn. And the Desperate Betrayal that I misread, I was like, oh, this card's really good. It's fucking dog shit.
But that's why Bison's smiling on it.
Dude, those teeth. If I ever am like unpresentable on the stream, I'll just have that as my portrait, dude, just teeth.
Oh, the smiling Bison.
Look at that.
Another
understand
Nash
why
card?
Nash
Oh
is
my
doing-
gosh.
Another card where
Why
Nash is
is
getting
it
fucked up.
I hate that card.
I
That card
know.
killed my Dante.
It's so
Oh, that's
dumb.
right.
He killed my
Oh, I'm
dog.
sure Grey Slave loves to see this too.
Ooh, cursed packs, dude. That's the. I thought it was when I read this card. I was like so excited to be like pulling stuff and like looking, and I was just like, you deal 7 damage, and if you kill a unit, you get that. You get its MP cost in mana for yourself. I'm like, that's really good. And then I read with my eyeballs, and then it was like, oh, this card is awful.
Yeah. A guy used it to kill Iowa's Devil Hunter Dante, and the guy took 9 self damage to do it. I was like, well, that was worth it.
For
Word.
him, it was. Because that
Yeah.
Devil Hunter Dante was just going to murder him.
It's pretty insane. Like, it worked, but you know, you got to pay the price.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can get one more pack. Hold on, it's not over yet.
Oh boy.
Good luck on your
Oh,
pack.
boy.
I hope you get the X skin.
Me too. Smile.
0 is the X skin. Just play 0.
Just play 0.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I got the one Ouroboros card, the Obsessive Duel.
I actually don't have that card yet. It's the one. I'm missing 3 cards total.
Damn. I'm still missing a couple, but I
That's-
found more epics than I thought I would, so that's something.
Out of like, let me see, I had about 8,000 Zenny, and all the free packs was like 15 free packs. So I guess I pulled closer to like 45.
Yeah.
And I got 1 red epic. That's it. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Completely shut
pretty
out.
bad luck.
I had to go make all my what do you call it? The rescuer's bullet. Had to make all 3 right there. But thank you, Spooky. Thank you for the donation.
There was a donation?
Yeah, she donated $10. She was like, "Do it. You won't."
Very
Do
kind.
what? What I missed? Oh, for opening packs?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Who are you guys?
What's going on?
Huh? Hey, we're tired, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's
I'm
tired. I think I probably slept the
Understandably so.
most, and it was like 6.5 hours.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Wow. Sounds amazing. Time to go play Teppen.
Yep.
Just drink some coffee, power through, and then just pass out at a normal hour. So then it all works out.
Well, I'm glad we got to throw this together. This was great.
This was great.
But it is good to be talking with the boys, the streamer boys. I guess, is there anything else you want to say to the audience? When's the next one? It's going to be at this time every week, I believe. Unless somebody is going to be like, oh
Yeah, next
shit,
week.
I hate this.
Same Teppen hour, same Teppen channel.
Yep.
As long as I'm not like called for work, I should be here.
You tell them you got an important podcast, boys.
I mean,
You
I could
got
be
a
here in
tier
spirit.
list to make up. Because I think
Yeah,
that's the
next
plan,
week
right?
is
We're
gonna
going to be
be-
going through.
Dude, tier list would be a
Really good.
4-hour thing, dude. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nutty.
We'll try not to take too long, but it might take a while.
Hey,
Iron was the last one, so
they take a while, but it's enjoyable to see it all come together and see Penguin tier and see
Yep.
Dalamadur tier.
Dalamadur tier is like the best. Have you not seen how many? Okay, it beat a day on Twitter. Did you not see it?
yeah.
Can we throw more cards into our graveyard, please? More cards.
Yeah. with no synergy whatsoever. What does Green do with their graveyard cards? I guess they bring them back with Cycle.
It's so that you can
We
make your
balance.
Valhazak stronger. Smile.
We don't do that. Chun-Li does that. I don't even know if she's
Yeah,
going to be doing that
exactly.
anymore.
Get my Marvin.
The 4 horsemen of Teppen.
Yeah, I got the bright idea for this. Just like how we have character specialists, and I don't know. I mean, Chris is playing Zero. I thought he was a Wesker main, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to
mean-
readjust the overlay to just purple everything up.
Who wouldn't play Zero right now? Right?
All the Yon Lee players last night.
That's absurd.
I haven't touched Zero. I did the story, and that's it. Good character, long hair, blonde Jill. Don't like him.
Yeah, Zero's fun. I think he's really good. I played purple on the side. I played fours
Oh,
for a good while.
Oh yeah, I'm just
I
teasing.
never played reds though.
Yeah, I think besides Mallet, all of us do play a lot of.
Hey, I play 2 heroes. Okay.
That's next week. We'll just reveal our played matches on all our characters. Just open up our
Our
player
true
info.
colors.
Yeah.
Dude, I do want to do. Oh man, I guess I did mention it to you guys. I do want to do like the game of the week thing. That'd be cool to look at here. It could be one of our games. It could be something that people submit. If it's not too like, if we don't get submitted like 50 matches or something to review.
Well, that's something we can mention now for people if they want to send us some matches.
I don't know where to send it to me on Discord maybe, but like if you have a hype match, we are going to kind of go through submissions and find a game of the week. Send us your hype clips. The entire match, dude. I don't have the thing set up to show 'em, but
we can maybe do something like a top plays of the week if we get enough.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
the
Like
Ghost
very
Hockey,
select
dude.
clips.
I'm telling you,
Maybe.
I'm going to make a burn Wesker deck somehow.
Oh,
What?
boy.
Spirit of speech.
Yeah, Burn Westward speech.
Fates.
Burn Wesker.
Yeah, with speech.
That's 12 damage.
Conspirator
right
speech.
there.
Wait, you can use the purple action to bring the units or the actions
I'm
back
going
from the
to make
graveyard.
That deck.
Dude.
Why is
Nutty.
Joel not playing that deck?
That doesn't work with speech.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
Joel, you need to play that new card.
It's not hard damage. It's like set for sacrificing life. It won't ramp up with Denjin.
Which I'm happy it doesn't.
Yeah, that'd be insane. That's the first thing I thought of too. I was like, Red Black Denjin? No, doesn't work.
Yeah, it's the
Calpy has
same
a
thing I
good
know
suggestion. You should go over top level player matches as well.
Yeah.
I suppose we
If
could
we
do that definitely, as
combine
long
them,
as it
yeah.
doesn't become like something where it's just like, here's a yawn match. Did you see why they slapped a fucking Weitzel down on that shit? It's because that card is fucking busted. But yeah,
mean,
we could do
There's
that.
gonna be enough. Yeah, there's gonna be enough matches to go. Around.
Yeah.
Yeah, my green insight is become very not valuable.
That's the thing I was afraid of when people were like, "Dude, Joe's gonna be top tier now." I was like, "Nah, I don't want all the top players up in my bay, dude. I don't want to be fucking mid-level bay anymore. I want to be top tier bay within
Yeah, my favorite
the
moment
bays."
was definitely getting lucky and hitting that top 30 with X, and then everyone tried it and said, "I'm not playing this. I'm gonna go."
Oh, they tried.
They did try.
Who should we send matches to? I believe that'll be me, and that'll be. Yeah, if you can find me on the TEPPEN Discord, but I'll put. You can also send to my Twitter too, but I'll put my Discord in chat. 6479. So yeah, just work on those YouTube clips. We're gonna have a lot of crazy stuff coming up in the first week here. Hopefully it's not all zero. People will start to find what's good and start climbing to 2,000 immediately because people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are doing it.
I can't believe how many people are already champion. I'm like, dude, I'm still at A5.
Top 100
Yeah,
was filled
baby.
in hours, like easily. People want it, man. They want it.
For real though. Anything else? Last words. Did Mallet say he had
Are
a
you guys
Discord or
really
something?
tired?
I do not have a Discord for this stream, but I should.
Are you guys really tired?
Yeah, you
Little
guys
bit.
should be tired.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Because I
Hang
had
in.
one stream question all day, and it was, what is the best legendary?
The best.
Ooh.
I gave.
And
I
I
gave
think it would
mine.
be cool if we did like a best legendary for each color.
Oh.
Ooh.
On the new
Because I already
set.
did mine on stream, but it'd be cool to do it on this podcast if you guys are, awake
Right now?
Yeah,
right now.
I can answer
Oh,
mine
shit.
real quick and easy. Killer B Strike Cami is just hands it down the best. for
Holy
green.
shit.
Okay.
Like that's mainly because Doll's memories and hope for the future are very situational that can backfire in your face.
I agree with that.
Let me think.
I was gonna say a lame answer and just be like all the memories.
All the
memory
memory.
It's close though, because I think Agent's Memories is really good for red, but at the same time, I think Leon has a lot of potential. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd say Agent's Memories, just because it can see more play outside of Denjin. Where Leon, I think, is pigeonholed to Denjin. Like he could see use in Jill, but not really. And like I saw Ryu use Leon against you, Iowa, but he did like nothing because he wasn't using any actions. So I think Leon's very specific, while Agent's Memories has a lot more value. So that would be the best for red. I said earlier, Maverick's Memories is the best for purple by far, because a negate right now in this current meta is so damn strong. And the way that it works, multiple ways is so handy. For green, I was going to say Doll's Memories, but I mean, Thirsty has a really good point with Cammy. But honestly, I haven't seen much Cammy yet. Well, I haven't seen much green in general. But I think Doll's Memories works so well outside of mono green, like in black green with Nurg, like they use it. So just the versatility with Doll's Memories, like the fact it can do damage or buff, is really good. And Cammy's a little tricky to set up, right? We're not even talking about the X card. And then for black, I honestly don't think it's Memories. It probably is Sigma, or the Flight card, Bolt Reaver or whatever. I think Sigma right now in the fun department is the best for black. But is he the most meta friendly? I do not know. He is really strong though. Yeah, it's hard to say for black. Maybe Sigma.
Were we judging just the new legendaries or all legendaries in that
I'm just
color?
judging
The new one.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the one
new
I get
ones.
asked about the most.
Yeah, Agent's Memories for red. The shooty bang bang, 7 damage to the face. Everyone's going to be afraid of that. When they play against a red player, it's going to be like, well, when I get down to 7, I better have a Selfish in hand or something to counter it. or else I'm gonna eat 7 to the
Right.
face, or a negate, of course.
You need to negate it for sure.
But overall, legendary for red, I kind of think it might be Dragoon. He's really, really good.
Oh, overall.
Oh, if it was overall for red, I'd say almost FDR.
Oh, that's true. He is kind of
That's pretty good.
he's really annoying for players without access to shields or some kind of removal to deal with. Fair
Yeah.
point.
And everyone gets him.
He's
But
basically
you
the
can't
original
use them
memory
at the
card.
beginning. You can't have that as turn 1. You can't make it your turn 1 Yuri Zen and be like, "Rrr."
Yeah, some people do it, but they're not smart. So I've seen it. Just slam Ryu down. I don't care.
When we did the X versus Jill, man, it wanted me to play Dragoon. It was just like Dragoon, not enough explorers in this hand. Mulligan. Here's Dragoon. I'm like, God,
You guys are getting
fine,
beat
I'll
up a lot.
play it.
Those early Dragoons were crazy.
It kept looking like I was just trying to high roll my opponent, like no respect high roll, and it was like, no, I really didn't really have anything better to play, dude.
That was it.
Yeah, dude, I think I was out of here, dude.
I'm not out of here. Well, I can be, but
Weird.
one sec.
Waifu picture there, dude. Just like, nope.
For me, the best legend overall in black. Man, that's a really tough one. I think if you asked me like a month or two ago, I'd say Living Death, but now it's like so risky to use it now, especially when Cycle's a thing. I honestly think Forbidden Fruit is really strong, and can fit into just like any black deck. I think a lot of people sleep on that card still, and it's just really good when it works. I mean, it is a lot of self damage that you have to take, but I mean, just the fact that you can keep a unit alive with it is really insane, right? And I kind of like it a lot. But for like overall, it's really tough. Like I don't know what else I would pick.
Fruit
I do
is
love
solid.
Forbidden Fruit just because
Yeah.
the amount of misplays people see.
Exactly. I
It
like
is
those
tough to
cards
play,
that are
man.
like skill based, like Axel, where it's just like most of the time you see him. What are you doing? But it's just like same with fruit. It's like sometimes it's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm just gonna just slam this one. Someone put it in front of FD Ryu once, and I was just like, "Are you sure you want to do that, sir? Are you sure?" So they put it down in front of me, and they took 18 to the face.
Dang.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, but to me, that's probably my favorite, just because like it's such a weird like effect to have that like you cannot get anywhere else. And yeah, when it works, it works. When it backfires, it's a beautiful disaster. And like for me, everything else for Black Legendaries, like the units don't really stick out to me that much, except Sigma, which is sick. Like Urizen's whatever. That's a Nurg only card. Nemesis is useless. Legend Eater Nurg, I don't know why he does what he does. Like he's so unplayable. I mean, Legend Wesker is kind of sick, but again, he's only being used in like Nurg endgame. Yeah. I mean, I like Living Death a lot, but to me, it would probably be Forbidden Fruit.
Legend Wesker in the last meta was a pretty good feel, just because all the resets. It was like, oh, you want to reset that? You want to try that?
Yeah.
No love for Legend Vial?
No. Ascension Vial is again, this doesn't make any sense.
See, that's the thing I like about Axel though, is the low investment. The Vial does not have the same like potential, but
yeah. Like Axel is actually playable. He's no longer a gimmick, which I've come around to.
I win. I win.
Well, I said it before. Like when the card pool increases, then Axel will get better because there's more options. And
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can get some good plays with Axel.
It does look like he's going to be copying memory buffs from units, right?
I would imagine that it plays the same thing for you, depending on your number of memories.
Yeah, I would assume it'd be based off your memories, right?
But that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I don't want Axel copying my Killer Bee at all.
Yeah, you could copy Legend Zero.
Dude, there's no better feeling than copying a goddamn jury and then hitting it with a Bushinryu. Excuse me, ma'am. This is mine.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good combo.
I mean, would you copy Legend Sigma? I think I would.
Yeah, I get pretty
Dude.
nutty.
That would be crazy too. I had a clutch copy against FD Re once, but it's super specific because you got to do it like just right, dude. Oof.
Yeah, just right.
Anyway, so we're going over like this is like 2.5 hours, so you guys are probably
2.5. Yeah.
tired as hell, dude. So why don't we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Last chance to say something.
We're gonna raid Thirsty, right? Thirsty, are you streaming like right now?
Well, I don't know if this is happening.
Well, I gotta like set up. So
Go
if you
live
guys
right
have
now.
a couple of things to talk about.
Stream right now.
Let's
Oh,
pop open the OBS.
Yeah, buy some time. I got you. I got you.
Sometime.
Shit, we
Can
talked
the
about
purple
everything.
player stall this stream for a little bit?
Oh shit, halt. Halt, boys. What about Turf War? People thought that like
I have not seen that card played.
I don't
once.
like this card. If you kill a unit with this 4 damage, then you get 3/3 to a random friendly unit, which random friendly just doesn't sound good to me.
Yeah.
That 5 cost is just a bit rough, right? Like that's a big investment. Red
Yeah.
Yeah,
isn't
five is
usually known
big.
for.
I mean, technically, if you have 3 targets, it's the same. It's like it's Dragon Lords, but consistent. But just the added effect of like 3/3 if you kill something, shield, self sack, you know.
Unless they're running Oiled Shower or some other tech cards, right? You're not tech. you're not gonna
Papega
shield
Shower,
all of them.
dude. Love that card. Love it.
Boy. Started.
It's probably gone for a little bit, for you to
Hate
be
that
honest.
shit.
So there was something interesting I noticed when watching Iowa. I noticed Iowa was running Quicksand for purple now, which
yeah.
you didn't see much Quicksand last meta because there was a lot of Yawn Ascension. But now all of a sudden Yawn died down. Is Quicksand good now?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing some disgusting uses of it. I'm like,
It's good.
Quicksand is disgusting.
It's really interesting. I didn't think about it until I saw him play it, where it was like, well, yeah, I guess if you're not running the Yawn that much, this is better than Intimidation. But I still kind of like Intimidation because you get to screw with their pocket. And if they're drawing actions and stuff, you want to, clog their pocket.
Oh, I do
But I
all
think-
3.
Yeah, there's a good way to include both of them, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because bounces are so easy now. Yeah. It's really interesting, though.
can we
Yeah.
get more demonic intimidation, please? Say no more, fam.
Yep.
Right?
We need another one. More
Quick
Can I get
Quicksand.
bounces.
6? Can it be 20% of earlier?
Demonic, parry. It's crazy.
Will just fought the number 2 guy. Nice.
Did you win?
Hopefully you won that one.
Will, if you didn't win, I'm ending this
Malcolm
stream right
said-
now. No one's getting hosted.
Damn it, Will.
We'll turn this
Yeah,
podcast
so-
around.
Yeah, both Brio and Alchemist say they should cap Seth or Urian to like 3 mana units or less. And the interesting comparison is like, well, Beltway got nerfed, so why are these other cards exist? And another good example is Alexia. Like, why is Alexia able to kill 5s when they were nerfing Beltway for being too oppressive, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? It's difficult because Seth can still kill 4s.
I've never been a big fan of the argument too of like, well, Alexia sacrifices life, and it's like that's not ever
Yeah.
really a problem.
The most powerful stuff for Black sacrifices life, and it's only -3. Like, it's not that big of a deal to them. They can heal it back. They don't care.
Will lost. All right, we're done. Changing it. That's it.
So it's interesting. I don't know if they'll-
That's all I have.
The starting soon screen. Beautiful.
Don't get me started. Bye. Oh, it wiped the
no.
chat. Oh well, it's fine.
Will lost.
All right. Well, this stream is chilling at streaming soon, so whenever you're ready.
We're starting. Oh, okay. I think you meant mine. I was like, oh, dude, we're starting soon.
Oh,
You guys ready to do it again? Dude?
We're all wide awake for it.
Weird.
What?
What?
Huh?
When we were all talking about our colors, I was kind of expecting to like look over and see someone just asleep after they were done talking, just like done.
Yeah.
Send it over to Thursday, dude.
Let's watch some
28.
X gameplay. I've been wanting to watch this.
Watch the
This is
X
gonna be
Games, dude. Oh,
terrible.
you gotta stream title the X Games, or I'm rioting, dude.
All right.
And we're done.
Wow, we did it.
Hopefully, Thirsty is muting all of us right now.
Oh yeah, they can't hear you.
They can't. Okay.
Nah.
I don't know how to do that. That's one thing I was just like, let me set up everything I think I'm gonna need. And I think it went pretty
Yeah.
well.
The nice thing is this headphone I have, it like can separate Discord chat from